It's all right.
Can you make my hair look like this?
Oh, man, what you want to make your hair look like that for?
See, that's the problem with y'all today. Y'all don't know nothing.
Will you let the man tee you off? You yap worse than 6 barbers.
Well, here goes nothing, my friend.
It's a solid intro.
Welcome to the Your Barber
Thank you, sir.
Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Ballot, a.k.a. Matty Blades on Instagram. Anytime we mention a handle of any sort, it's just going to be Instagram. If it's TikTok, we'll mention otherwise. But this podcast is basically going to be a place for barbers to be semi-vulnerable and get their balls broke at the same time, maybe. Going to be sharing a lot of stories, a lot of client stories, a lot of journey stories, background, talking all things barbering, and then some life shit in there as barbers deal with life just as much as anyone else. So, I'd like to introduce to you, without further ado, my guest here. You know, this guy, I was in school with this guy. He's a great guy. He's had some ups and downs to his barber career. So, Brock, James, everybody, welcome, my friend, to the podcast. You know, it's only right I bring you in with a little positive vibes here on Sunday morning. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Give it up. Give it up, my friend. Give it up.
Episode
going,
1,
man? How you
Let's
been?
go. I'm good, bro. How you been?
Not too bad. A lot of life has happened since the last time I saw you, man.
Fuck yeah, it has.
We both kind of moved around a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
So me and Brock, we were in barber school when we crossed paths initially. And I always say I was like the Van Wilder of barber school. I was in there like a year and a half.
Bro, you still had hair.
Yeah, I had hair. We tried
had
a
the
lot of
comb over,
different
bro.
styles. Tried a lot of different styles at that point. I think I had I had the hard part comb over just like everyone at one point. And dude, I remember I have my passport picture I got taken in Arizona. We were in barber school in Arizona. And I always refer back to that picture because my guy Gilberto cut me up. And I'm like, holy shit, I have a hairline in my passport picture. It's like I'm tan. I got a hairline. It's a phenomenal passport picture. So at least I'll have that at my disposal for 10 years. But so yeah, we crossed paths in barber school. And I crossed paths with a lot of people being in there so long, but we were in there together at one point, and I finished before you, and I was out, and then I don't know.
A lot of people finished before me.
Talk to me, man. So let's start from the beginning, though. Let's start from the very beginning. You know, let me know on the journey. How'd you first become interested in becoming a barber?
In barbering? Shoot, man. There's a lot of things, really. I mean, my mom was a hairdresser, so I grew up around it. She was giving me bowl cuts. She was giving me bowl cuts my whole life. So just a fucking personal mannequin for her, but
oh yeah, you were a test dummy in a lot of ways. For sure.
Man, for sure. I had the bleach tips and everything, dude. It was awful. But
we all went through it. We all went through it. I
remember
remember the thing back in the day, the Nike swoosh in your head. I probably had a fucking awful swoosh in my head at one point. But
really?
Yeah.
I didn't, dude, the first time I went to a barber, because my mom did my hair the whole time, I was like 24, bro. And then
the first time I went to a barber. Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of people, and that's not an uncommon thing. I think I started going to like an actual barber. It's probably like 19, 20, something like that.
As soon as I was out the house.
Yeah, like in high school, I had the Bieber, the thing where you're like
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
fucking
me too,
throwing your
dude.
hair to the
I had
side.
it like all over, bro. I look like a helmet. I was wearing a
Right.
helmet of hair.
Helmet head. Yep. That's what we
Yeah.
all. That's what all my friends had too. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
kind of the thing.
Yeah.
You hated getting your hair cut. I was one of those kids, and then all of a sudden, look at us now.
Yeah.
So you're from Alaska originally, right?
Yeah, man.
So
Yes, sir.
this has got to be one of the only male models to come through Alaska right here, the Alaskan assassin here, right?
Alaskan assassin, bro.
You
That
were
was
on your
my
like
handle,
model
bro.
bag in Alaska a little bit, no?
Bro, that's what started me to say I got my first like fresh haircut. And I was like, damn, I look good, dude. It gave me all this confidence, bro. And I was like, shit, I'll try it. And then fucking yeah, I modeled for a little bit. I forgot all about that. You had to
It's like,
bring
let's
that.
take a couple
Man,
pictures here. I got fresh, got a little
you have
something
some
on here.
pictures? Huh?
What's that? No, I was saying you were saying
Oh,
that.
oh yeah. That's like
Do a quick
you have
photo
these pulled
shoot.
up. I was like, right. You've been doing your research, bro.
No, I just remembered that.
Oh, damn it, man.
So,
I've been like low key like hiding that fact about me for a long
no,
time.
yeah, but we dig deep on this pod, man. We're gonna be digging deeper.
Oh
So,
yeah.
so Alaska, what'd you do for work there?
I was I worked at like some warehouse, like just packaging like I don't even know, like salt for like oil fields or something like that. It was something not fun.
A lot of forklifts, pallet jacks,
Oh yeah,
shit
bro.
like that.
Yeah.
While I was in barber school, I found this Amazon job towards the end of my time in barber school. And I was like, where the fuck was this job at the beginning of barber school when I was like, rubbing two panes together, trying to fucking get by,
Yeah.
finagling, like people are like, can I Venmo you? I'm like, dude, I'm like blacklisted on Venmo. I like finagled a way to make a car payment on Venmo. So
Yeah.
if someone tries to tip me on Venmo, just goes in, I don't know, and up in the air. Like, I'm like, yeah, don't do Venmo, do
Just-
Cash App, Zelle, whatever. But
yeah. Do
so,
you use the business thing through Venmo or what? Is that what happens?
I don't know what the fuck happened. It's just like I had like a negative balance in Venmo somehow. I
Oh
literally
shit.
don't know how. I like took one bank account, linked another bank account, and put it made a car payment. Got me by. Shout out to Venmo. I mean, if they want to
Fucking
sponsor
Venmo.
this thing, I'm not against it. But yeah, I always recommend people at least one point in life work a warehouse job.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, they're the best, character developers.
For
You
sure.
meet some of the funniest fucking people in your life in a warehouse job.
Because nobody gives a fuck.
No,
So,
it's just people from all backgrounds. Like, just you got
yep.
the lifers in there. They got a different mentality. It's
Yeah.
an
Got the
interesting job.
lifers. For sure.
So you work
We
a
had this like
warehouse.
we had like this 70-year-old guy there that like it's like, what are you still doing here? And it's like
Right. There's the
I'd have
people that
like a
fuck
box of
off.
like corn dogs. I have like a box of corn dogs I'd bring in, and he'd be like, "Oh, I bet you gonna get down on those fucking corn dogs, aren't you?" I was like, "Dude, you're 75 years old. Like,
I remember
come
like
on, man."
that Amazon job at the end of barber school, the easiest job ever. It was like a 5-hour shift. I'd be at barber school 8 to 3 and there 3 or 2:30 and there 3 to 8. So that was like my
Yeah,
whole day for like the last probably 6 months of barber school. And I mean, you did real work for like an hour and a half, and then you went on lunch, and then you just like dicked off, set up for the next shift, basically.
yeah.
So you worked that job. So talk to me
Mhm.
when you became. So what brought you out of Alaska though? What moved you out of there? What the fuck was that?
I don't know, bro. It sounded like a gunshot.
I think my
Is it safe
yeah.
out there in Atlanta, bro?
We'll get
Or
to
is
that.
your kid? It's your kid.
My this fucking old ass house. One of my windows,
Don't even
the
get me
top part of the
started on
window,
houses.
just. So yeah, what brought you out of Alaska? What moved you out of there?
So I was up there working that job, and I was living with my parents at the time because just needed to save some money. So basically, I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and then so like I was about a year in. I was like figuring it out. Got like my fresh haircut. I was like, damn. And I think it was when I got my barber up there. His name was G. Literally just G. But he gave me this fresh ass
One of my
cut.
barber's names was E.
Yeah. I think I need to change my barber name to just B or something, but
Shout out to Ernest. Might have him on here one day.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Um but he gave me this fresh ass skin fade, and then like he didn't like say one fucking word to me at all. Like he was like on his phone or whatever the fuck. So I think he had like an earpiece and he was just like talking to people on his phone and shit. I was like, are you talking to me? Like I don't know if he was talking to me or not.
The
So I
old
like
head on the
respond to some of
Bluetooth
the shit he's
earpiece.
saying. Yeah. Anyway, but like everyone in there was like shooting the shit and like talking shit, and I was like, this is fucking dope. So like, because like they're making like hella money. There's like 20 people were just waiting to get a haircut. I was like doing the math in my head. I was like, probably fucking make bank doing this once you get like booked up and stuff. So
Right.
I just like started saving from that point for like 2 more years to like I was trying to plan where I wanted to go to barber school. And it was gonna be I was looking at originally, I was looking at going to Australia, dude, to go to barber
Jesus.
school. I know, dude. But because I had like 35 grand saved up, right?
Fuck.
By the
It's a lot to
Yeah,
save.
bro. You don't pay
Crushing it
rent,
in the
you just live,
warehouse.
huh?
You're
Took
crushing
me
it in the
3 years. Yeah, crushing it.
warehouse.
Just getting paid like $16 an hour or something.
Hey, that's not bad for back in the day, really.
Yeah, that's true. Um, and then I quit right when they bumped us up to like 20 or something. But
Hey, timing,
we
you
were like,
can't.
we were begging for that raise forever, and then I quit right when I got it. Um, but yeah, so I was choosing between Australia because I was like, it'd be fucking dope to just like go travel somewhere and fucking like become a barber out there or something. I was just on some shit. I wanted to do something new that no one in my family had done. But I was like doing the math in my head. I was like, fuck, taxes are high there. It's like that's not gonna be. It's not
Down
gonna
under.
be. I'm gonna run right through this this savings I got, which I ended up doing anyway. But
Right, goes fast. Goes super
yeah.
fast.
So then I found I had lived in Tucson for a while after high school. I knew I wanted to come back to
Well,
Phoenix.
what made Arizona the destination? Did your parents move too, or you just moved? You picked up and
I
moved.
had a we have a lot of Alaskans out there, man. So one of my
In
buddies, Josh,
Tucson?
not well, yeah, Tucson. It used to be a lot out there, but Phoenix had a lot too. Like I had like 4 or 5 of them out there.
It's such a
We stayed.
random fact. There's a lot of randomness of why certain people from certain areas end up in Arizona. When I was at Barber
It's
School, I
just like,
drove for Lyft the whole
bro,
time,
well,
essentially.
I
What's
try to
that?
explain it to people. I try to explain it to people because, like, even like when I tell people in Tennessee that I was like, yeah, I'm from Alaska, and then I moved to Arizona. They're like, geez, that's a
Big change, huh?
big
Big
change.
change.
But like when you live in Alaska, dude, it's like it's cold and it's dark for 9 months,
Ooh. What
right?
they fucking call
So
that? The winter solstice or something like that?
I don't fucking know what it's called.
The
It's
Northern
called
Lights? What do
depression,
they
is
fucking
what it's
call that?
called. It's called depression, dude. It's awful.
Wasn't there was like some sort of zombie movie. What was it called?
Also,
Like 30 Days and
30
30
days of
Nights?
night,
Something like
30
that.
days of night, or some shit
That
like
movie
that.
was actually pretty fucking decent.
The vampires, bro. I think that's
Yeah, I
based
think
on
it
a
was
true story.
vampires, yeah. That's what it was. They were fucking,
Yeah,
like,
I think
hiding
it's
in the
based on.
house, and they're fucking jumping on the roof and shit.
Yeah, yeah. It's fucking insane. I'm pretty sure it's based on a true story. Um,
Never know.
it's crazy out there, bro. natives be drunk as shit, just doing whatever. But
yeah. So you got inspired though, just getting a cut in the shop, like, yeah, like I want to do this. Like, yeah, I
yeah,
had that same
it
feeling.
was the environment. Like when you can work and just like not be fucking
Dude, there's no job like it.
harassed by somebody or something,
Right.
it's like you can literally just cuss all day, talk shit.
Right.
I was like,
Is there any
that's
job than
where I want to
bullshitting
be.
with the fellas all day? Is there any job better than that?
No,
You're just fucking bullshitting about
other
the
than
game
being
last
maybe a
night. Yeah.
podcaster, podcaster would be the second one.
Right?
And you're doing both, so you're killing it, bro.
Yeah, it's just it's another log in the barber fire. Just something to keep it burning. Yeah,
Hell
it's
yeah.
just this fucking chair dude's like every time I fucking
Yeah,
lay
I'd
back
play
on.
one of those songs. Eat eat
Right. Little Trillville back in the day. But all right, so Tucson, you're there. So what'd you do there?
That was before I moved back to Alaska, but
Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude,
yeah, I moved back.
I told you
Yeah.
guys it's a crazy journey for this guy here.
Yeah, man, I've kind of been all over after high school. Like, I guess I don't know. Do you want to go into that story? That can be a
Sure,
long
dude.
story. So straight out of high school, bro, I moved to Nebraska to go to college because that's what my dad wanted me to do or whatever. So I was like, all right,
Right.
I'll do it. And then I decided I fucking hate this, so I dropped out. And my
Right.
buddy was in Tucson with all of our Alaskans,
Wait, what
and he
was your
was like
major in college? What were you going for?
architecture at that
Oh
time.
shit. Are you a math guy?
No.
Dude, part of the reason I'm doing this podcast is to just empower other barbers that, in math class in high school, they
Yeah.
hid in the bathroom when it was time to go to the board. That was me. Algebra 2, I'm like, yep, it's about that time. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta
Dude,
just
I'm
time it.
good at
All
like
right, they should be through me in my row now. All right, I can come back
my
now.
basic math is solid, bro, but you start throwing letters in there, you got me
Yeah, dude.
fucked
It's
up.
like what is this? Dude, at the shop we have, a lot of our services, some of the upper tier services, there's a order of doing things. And one day we had to like basically demonstrate our executive service. And so like we had a piece of paper with like the order to do shit, and then we had to go up in front of everyone and like demonstrate it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm back in math class.
That's
Just that
weird.
anxiety of like fucking like being at the board and not knowing the answer. But I knew the answer this time. That was the difference.
You had to do that for your new job?
Just like we were already like all work, it was just randomly. It was just kind of, we had a lot of like new hires, and there was a
Uh-huh.
lot of questions about like, skipping shit or not doing shit. So they're like, let's just have a little like demo and a little thing where we could come in like an hour before we open and just kind of, iron this out. And
Yeah.
I was like, had
Yeah,
that
that would get
anxiety. I'm
me
like,
excited.
fuck, do I know this?
I would cripple under that kind of pressure, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah. Pressure,
I
it's
hate
a
that. motherfucker.
So yeah, getting back. So why'd you move back to Alaska after you moved to Tucson?
Because I ran out of money. And that was back. So I moved to Tucson to try. I was like trying to pursue baseball, bro, and so I
Playing
didn't have a
baseball?
job. Yeah, man, I was decent. I
Wow.
wasn't like, yeah, I got an invite to the Phillies showcase,
Get
but
the fuck
there
out.
was a lot of Dominican Republican guys there, so I didn't make the cut.
A lot of big poppies just
Yeah, I was like,
hitting grand
I
slams
don't think
left
I'm
and
the
right.
right ethnicity for this.
What
And
position
they were
did you
like
play?
18. Shortstop.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, man.
pretty tough position too.
Yeah, I was probably too tall for that position, I think.
Never
So
got
I
into
tried
pitching.
outfield too, but my arm ain't an outfield arm. So
fair enough. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
yeah, man. But
So
then
baseball
that
didn't work.
didn't
You
work.
ran
So I
out
was
of
like,
money.
yep. And then I tried that modeling thing you mentioned.
So that's when you moved back when that happened.
Yeah, and yeah, the modeling thing didn't work out. Apparently, it's not a very good industry for dudes to be in
Alaska.
because it doesn't pay well. So,
I mean,
yeah,
you
so
could
I
have got
moved
the
back.
Fashion Nova treatment, man. You never know. We followed through.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
So
it was not good. So I moved back because I just wasn't making any money, and I was like, "Fuck, I like sold my car, bro, to buy my ticket to go back."
good shit, dude.
Yeah, yeah, because I wasn't gonna drive it back. That's for sure.
No.
Like, fuck
yeah.
that.
that can't quite work too well.
Yeah,
But
missed that car.
so you land in Arizona. Where'd you live? Tempe, Mesa?
Tempe, yeah. I moved in with my buddy Josh. Josh Langfield, dude. He was the first person I met when I moved to Alaska when I was a kid. And so
Wow.
he like lives out there. And then he's like he posted or something that he had a room for rent. And I was like, how much you rent that out, dog? And he's like $400. And I was like, bet. I was like, I got
I'm
like
pretty
30.
sure that was around my rent when I moved out of my mom's house finally.
Yeah. Yeah,
About
that was
$450, something like
the
that.
good days when rent was reasonable. Now
Right.
it's like now it's like
It's
twice what a
sickening, dude.
mortgage is.
It's
But
sickening, man.
yeah, so I moved in with him and then kind of chilled for a month and then started barber school. And that's when I met you, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, barber school, dude. I get it. It's like a very you're starting off like it's a very just like wah, just high intense thing. It's
Yeah,
just like
man.
an anxiety filled.
Oh, 100%, dude. I'd hide in the back. So for like 2 weeks, I think the first 2 weeks I didn't even come out in the front. I was like, nah, it's not happening.
Manny, shout out to Blanca and Manny, best barber school in Arizona, Mesa
For sure.
Barber School. They
I still go back to those
they're
methods of
great.
cutting,
They're
bro.
great people, number one, and
For sure.
they're great barber instructors as well. But I remember we were basically Blanca was kind of running the show in the school we were in, and Manny was at the other one. But every now and then they would like switch. And Blanca was more like like because we had a rotation. Someone comes in and be like, Brock, you're next. And like if you were in the back or something, she'd be like, come on, let's do this. But Manny would be like, you don't want it? All right, next.
Yeah, give me this shit.
He's like, I'm not fucking waiting around. Next. So like, yeah, it was two different styles, which was great, which you kind of need. But yeah, so hiding in the back. I mean, dude, we all, you wake up on a Saturday morning, I mailed it in sometimes. It happens. Like I was in there so fucking long just because I had to work. I'd be like, I got fucking missed today because I got to pay rent. I got to whip it around for Lyft a little bit.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Forgot you were doing that.
I drove for Lyft essentially. Well, first when I first moved, I worked for this marketing company where I do merchandising and like Walmart, CVS, a bunch of retailers. And that was the job that moved me out of my mom's house back in West Virginia. That's where I'm from originally. We'll get into my story later. But back then we had a big Samsung contract. And basically my job was to just go check out all the Samsung products and make sure they're the best product on the shelf, best looking, make sure all the products packed out. I would install like end caps and shit, whatever. So eventually that people took advantage of this job because you could make your own schedule. You know, you could basically, you had deadlines and you just met the deadlines. Everything was cool. So people were like not going to the stores basically and saying they did. So the whole thing ended up crashing and burning, and I got laid off. So I was like, when I moved to Arizona, I was like, I wonder if that job is like big out here. And so I'm like, oh yeah, they are hiring, but it was in the grocery sector. And so instead of checking on consumer electronics, I was checking on tampons, Depends, Huggies, and Totino's pizzas or whatever, slapping coupons on fucking bagel bites.
Hell yeah, Megabytes slap, bro.
Yeah, but knowing that was working a little too hard in the previous era I worked it, I slacked off a lot. I was like forging signatures because you're like bothering these managers every fucking day you come in, and they don't want to see you. They're like, here he comes. The fucking guy's going to make me work. So I would just say, fuck it. Like, I just started making up names. I'd be like, yeah, George Smith. And then eventually a manager at a CVS was like, wait, we didn't do this. And they called like my manager. And then it was like a full audit of all the times I forged a signature. So they didn't even fire me because they basically need people who can walk and chew gum for that job. But they just like took away more and more work until it was like not, I'm like, well, I'm quitting because I can't earn any money working, making $60 every week. So yeah. So at one point in school you left, right?
Yep.
So how long were you in school before you left?
I think I did like 600 hours, so about like
how many hours do we need? 1,500 or 1,200? 1,500.
15. It's 1,200 now, but
yeah, everything's fucking changed now. They don't even have to do a haircut for the exam anymore.
It's I know. Huh? I was thinking about moving back to fucking Arizona just to do my fucking test.
What do you mean?
Get my license.
Oh, because you in Tennessee you had to do.
Yeah, I got my practical coming up, bro.
You what?
I have my practical coming up.
Well, you didn't even do it yet?
No, man.
What do you mean? I thought you already did all this. You have your license.
No,
right?
man. I graduated like a month ago.
Right.
And then I got my theory done. But they only do practicals in Nashville right now.
Okay.
Which is like 3 hours away. And I was like, and it's only time available is at 9. So I just been procrastinating it, but I got it scheduled for the end of the month so I can take a couple days off.
Huh.
And go do it. Oh dang, there's that QR code, bro.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw that up, a little something.
That's nice.
Okay. So you left.
But
so you left at school with 600 hours. And then
I
met your wife.
Left.
Right?
Yeah. Yep, I got my lady pregnant, so I dropped out.
Oh, that happened before you dropped out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was getting pretty close to dropping out anyway, I think, just because.
Why?
I don't know, I was getting tapped out.
A little overwhelmed.
It was the people, man, that you would cut in barber school that like, it's not the same as a barber shop, but it's a
lot of kids. A lot of
kids.
Stripes
You know what did it to me, man? That I was like, I don't know if this is it for me. It was like this lady came in, and some Mexican lady didn't speak any English. She had like 5 kids come in like right before we closed. Do you remember this? I don't know if you remember.
I mean, it happened every fucking week.
Yeah, that's true.
But anytime you saw like a van pull up, you're like, "Ah, shit, dude."
I ran straight to the back. Like, just ran out.
So that's what that was the nail in the coffin. You just got drilled.
It wasn't just like any kids though. It was like 5 little kids, and she wanted them all to have flat tops.
Oh my god! What kind of psychopath parent is this?
She didn't speak any English, and she's like flat top. Like I had Blanca like translate. I was like, what? I was like, they want flat
Did
tops.
you
These
have to
5
do
kids.
like more than one of them?
I did like 3 of them,
Oh my god.
bro. It was awful. I was like, I'm not coming back. I don't. I think this is it. I was like, this is not. I'm not looking forward to this.
It's like I'm not having fun anymore. This isn't enjoyable.
It's just not a good time.
So I
But
get that. I get that. That was my fear before I started barber school because I wanted to become a barber the first time I dropped out of college.
yeah,
So I always tell people like, yeah, I dropped out and no one in my life was very supportive of becoming a barber. And
no one is.
so
Yeah,
and I was like,
yeah,
all right. And then there was like no school in small town West Virginia. And the college town I actually lived in, Morgantown, WVU. You know, most people are from that's the only thing they're familiar with West Virginia.
Mm.
They opened up a barber school maybe like a fucking year after I left. And so I don't meet my wife. She doesn't get accepted for her doctorate program at Arizona State. My future wife. If I did meet her, I mean, the plight of my life just would have changed. Like the whole, if I
yeah,
would have stuck around there and, you know, it worked out the way it should have worked out for sure. But yeah, I was just like, that's so fucking weird that my whole, like, you know, after high school life, wanting to become a
mhm.
barber, you know, nothing was available. I remember my barber I went to in my hometown, Clarksburg. I asked him, I'm like, so what do you got to do to become a barber? He's like, you got to go to the Capitol for a full year. You can't miss a day, not even Christmas. You got to stay down there. I'm like, how am I going to fucking do this? I got no money. Like, how am I going to live down there? How am I going to pay and live? And I can't miss a day at
Yeah.
barber school. You don't make any money in barber school. You
No.
make like 20 a week in tips.
Yeah.
Like, how am I gonna fucking do this?
That's
So
a good week,
there was
bro.
no like path to do it. And looking
Yeah.
back, I'm just like, he didn't want any fucking other barbers in the town to compete with. That's all it was.
Yeah.
That was all
Yeah.
his shit. It was probably, if I would have looked into it, it was probably a little easier than that. But I mean, there was like
Yeah.
cosmetology schools where I'm from, and some people did that. Like the guy, my barber I referred to earlier, I think that's what he did. He initially was in like cos school, got his cos license, and he was cutting as a barber with his cos license. And then
Mhm.
eventually he got everything squared away. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, I don't want if I can do that either. Like I want to do nails and women's hair
No.
and like have the thought that I want to become a barber. So yeah, it was just like, so what about your folks? How supportive were your people of you becoming a barber?
My mom was super supportive.
Right.
Um,
The
she's
background there.
she's
So
been
that's
pretty like
big. That's big.
yeah, she's a hairstylist, so she's like, of course, she's like second generation. Like, I think she's pretty proud that I finally got it done too. But
Awesome. That feels good.
yeah, yeah. Mom was a huge factor. My mom's always been a huge factor. Like, if anything, like if I wanted like baseball, she's like, yeah, go do it. You know,
Right.
my dad's more realistic or whatever. He's more like, you need a college, you need to get a job, you need to get that 401k, get
Like
health
most dads
insurance.
are.
Yeah, and so it makes sense. But so I was like, I want to be a barber. He's like, well, I mean, you're not gonna be doing okay.
My dad was like, don't do it. Just stay focused. Get that piece of paper. That's all you need. Then you can do
Yeah,
whatever. Just get the piece of paper. I'm like, Dad, did you get the
yeah,
piece of paper?
yeah,
Like, don't do what I did. Don't do what I did.
yeah,
But yeah, my mom was
yeah.
kind of the similar way. Just like do what makes you happy. Just do
Right.
something. Don't do nothing, but like do something.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So, but a lot of support around it, really. And I don't know, I'm kind of the type of person that's stubborn anyway. So if you tell me like not to do something, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do it just because you told me it's a bad idea. Unless it's drugs, so no,
it can be a good
I'm not
thing.
gonna just start doing drugs. But
I'm definitely the like, does this make you happy? I'll do it. Yeah. Is that what everyone wants? Sure, I'll do it. Like, I'm not. I mean, barbers are pretty defiant in a way. Like, this isn't a job that a lot of people do. It's a job like no other, really. Like, it's not your 9 to 5, even though some barbers work 9 to 5, but it's just back to earlier, like bullshitting with the fellas, just making people feel good all day. There's no job like it. And so you gotta be somewhat defiant to just veer off and do something, your folks or your friends aren't doing at all. But it's good that you had your mom in that industry already to kind of have that little bit of, something planned in your brain telling you like, this has been in my life a little bit. Like, maybe I should do this. So yeah.
She was very successful too. So I was like, I don't see why I can't replicate her
Hairstyle
success
is crushing, man.
Oh, bro.
I worked in a salon environment when I moved to PA, and
yeah, I saw that.
So that was
you
interesting.
were like the only barber in there, weren't you?
Yeah, so I worked as a barber in a salon in a town with no barbers, essentially under 80 years old, and yeah, I kind of overnight became a pretty quick success out there. It was a good experience. I'm trying to figure out when I should go through my background, but I'm not there yet. Because it's a long story.
I feel like maybe we probably should have started with your background first. I don't know.
I want to, I'm thankful for you coming on here. So, I want to definitely get into your shit. But, so you end up in Tennessee, you meet your wife, your, soon to be wife, you get married. Or you have a kid, get married. I don't know what order it was.
Yeah, that order. That's the right order.
Okay.
Have the kid, get married.
Yeah.
We got married like 6 months or 4 months after we had our kid, I think.
How's that going?
Yeah, it's going great, man. Parenthood's pretty wild. He's a little shit. He's like me, man. He's like a little introvert, little fucking stubborn ass kid.
Yeah.
Fucking it's a trip,
my daughter
man.
looks exactly like me. That's what everyone says. It's like a mini me.
Yeah, she does. I agree.
Yeah, my wife's kind of like tight about that sometimes, but she got over it eventually. In the beginning, it's just like, oh my God, he looks just like Matt. Like, she's like, yeah, I know.
I feel like that's how it goes though with girls. Like, a lot of girls look like their dad.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I don't know what it is, but it seems to work out that way most times. And like the dudes
she's
look
funny,
like
dude. She's 4 now. Our kids are similar in age. Your son was born
that's
months
something
after mine.
I always respected about you finishing barber school, bro, is like, I don't know how you like just stayed with and knew you had a kid on the way. You know what I mean? That's tough, because I like, as soon as I had that, we got that pregnancy test, I was like, I gotta go back to doing fucking work now. Like, I can't be sitting here going through, because I don't know. I mean,
we didn't have a lot of money when my wife was pregnant, and when
right. So I was like,
shout out to my wife. She held it down when we moved to Arizona on her $16,000 graduate student stipend.
Oh shit!
And me making, 150 to 200 on a good week, and just driving for Lyft. And she kind of saw someone else do it that way, get pregnant before she got her PhD. When she was still in school, and then it's like, you have the kid already, and now you have all these options. You're on the job market. So she saw someone else kind of do it like that, and it was kind of the blueprint of,
how you guys did it.
Yeah. So, it worked out because I felt like my daughter got to see a lot already at her young age. Like, my wife's from Italy originally. She's been to Europe twice.
You guys been to Europe?
Daughter.
Dang.
What's that?
Said you guys been in Europe with him?
Yeah, shit, my daughter got baptized in Italy, so that was interesting. It's my in-laws actually just stayed with us for a whole month because anytime you travel back and forth to Europe, like it's not like a 3-day thing. Like you gotta make it count. You just spent the grip and the flight
shit ton
and
of money to go out there.
Right.
We're just here for a Saturday and we're going back.
Yeah. No, so we just got through that. That was an interesting run. It was a good time though. But so had the family stuff. You worked. What job did you work during them?
So I think as soon as I dropped out, I just picked up like whatever I could find, which was like this night job, like working at I think it's called like Quantum Clean or something. It was like we were fixing some like stainless steel parts for like computers or some shit. I don't even know what the hell I was doing, bro. But then my wife's dad worked at a power plant in Gila Bend, which is like buttfuck Egypt down in the desert somewhere. And so he was able to get me on at the power plant there, making decent money, like good benefits and stuff like that. So I was just doing that for like basically 3 years or 2.5 years, somewhere around there. And then I was kind of getting wore out, bro. I was just like working 12 hours and I was picking up like every shift, you know, just grinding it out. And I was like,
eventually your passion always comes back to what.
Yeah.
Is there anything worse than someone being around someone that works a job they hate at their job? Like when you're at their job. The other night, dude, I'm getting seasoning for my chicken wings today. It's Super Bowl Sunday, by the way. Getting seasoning for my wings at like Kroger on the way home from work the other night.
Mm-hmm.
And they got 3 checkout aisles open. And it's this line stacking up on this chick. And she's like, I'm like to the point, I've been waiting 15, 20 minutes. I'm to the point where I'm about to put my shit on the belt. And she's like, oh, I'm closed. And it's like, I'm just looking behind me like, I know she's not talking to me because I've been in this line. And so she's like, never mind. And then she just starts fucking like slamming like all the fragile groceries I have. I'm just like, I want to be like, oh, what are you fucking? Hey, I worked today too, by the way. Like, I clocked in and clocked out too.
Yeah, we all go through that shit.
Quit. Just fucking quit. There are options. Why do people act like they have to? Like, I never understand the fucking server that works 30 years. And there's someone like
hates it.
Yeah, hating their life. And there's someone just bullshitting and it's like after hours and they got like customers still there and they fucking start slamming chairs, stacking up.
Yeah, bro.
Like it's over. It's time to move on. Like, go after like someone missed out on their passion they didn't pursue somewhere along the way.
100%.
So what brought you to Tennessee?
So a lot of that's just like that built up, like just getting depressed, like working those jobs,
right?
Working, and I was like working 12 hours or whatever, and 14 hours, whatever, 7 days a week.
Fuck that, dude.
And I was just like,
you're not even seeing your family.
Exactly, and that's what it was, man. It was like I felt because we just had our kid, and then I was like, damn, he's learning. Like I'd come home and my wife like, he did this today, he did that today, and like I'm like missing everything.
Right.
So like that was like killing me on the inside. So I would tell my wife, I was like, I can't do this. Like we need to figure out a way like I can get back in, even like if it's part time. I'd rather be working a little bit and then doing part time, driving up and finishing school or something.
Right.
And eventually we got to last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. No, we bought our house here a year ago in Tennessee. So basically, the housing market took off, right? It's kind of where what led us here was so the housing market in Arizona is taking off because everyone from Cali is coming over.
Right. It's a
Whatever,
little
just
California
taking
now.
over. New Cali out there in Arizona, but so we bought this fixer upper that we got for like 180.
Nice.
And I just like did a bunch of DIY shit, bro. I like
You're handy. That's another one of you got the modeling, the
man.
baseball. You can fucking hammer a nail in there too.
Jack of all trades, bro. But
Me, I didn't own a drill until like last year.
yeah. Once you get a house, bro, it changes everything. You
Oh,
start
dude.
learning shit, especially when you find out how much it costs for someone else to do it.
Oh,
But
exactly.
yeah. So I'm like, well, the house is taking off, or the house market's taking off, and I'm like, fuck. So I like replaced our kitchen. I like resurfaced all of our like cabinets in our kitchen, replaced the countertop with like butcher block or something, stained it nice, redid the floors, redid both of our bathrooms.
Dude,
Bro, I
crazy.
remodeled that whole thing. And I put solar panels on top, which I kind of regret doing because I didn't know I was going to sell
You
the
got a
house.
retirement plan from barbering. Fucking flipping houses.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Well, that's I'll get into that later. my house plan. I'm big on the real estate stuff too, but
Fuck yeah.
so so by that point when everything was finished, I actually only had one bathroom done. And then I was like, all right, we're gonna sell our house. I was like, we kind of ran this down for like the last couple months. Like, if we sell our house, we fix it up, we probably get 100 grand out of it or whatever. And I was like, we can take that
Profit.
100 grand profit.
Right.
Yeah. So we can take that, we can move somewhere with bigger house, like more land, whatever.
Wait, you did this before you moved to Tennessee?
What?
You bought this house in Arizona.
Right.
During that. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, I was working at the power plant, so I had some good credit at that point. But so we bought this house, and we did like the first time home buyer, so we didn't have to put anything down, which was nice.
That's big.
So yeah, so we fixed that up, and I had like one bathroom done, and then we put it on the market because we were like, we make this money, we can go somewhere else, and I can finish barber school, and we can kind of live off the cash or whatever while we figure it out. And so we put it on the market, like kitchen done, bathroom done, and then we get like this offer like 20 over. And so we were about to sell it for 310. And we bought it 2 years ago for 180.
Yeah.
So we were like 130 at that point.
Yeah.
But then that offer fell through because the underwriter missed something crazy.
There's always some fuck shit going on.
Some ridiculous. And we had so we found this house and we had like 14 days to sell our house. That was like the contingency. And so I was like panicking because this is like day 3. I mean, we got an offer day 1, 20 over, and then like something happened with the underwriting the next day and it like fell through. It's like, fuck. So we got like 10 days to sell this house again. And then we get someone comes in like 2 days later and like puts like the asking price. And I was like kind of disappointed, but still making a shit ton of money off of the house anyway. And so
you profited the 100K?
I profited, yeah. I mean, 30 of it had to come out because of the damn solar panels, so it was like 70. But
that's still
I had to pay off this
pretty big come up.
Yeah, but in between that day period, the 2 days, because I wanted to get that 310 price, so I asked my realtor, I was like, "You think if I finish that other bathroom, we could get that 310?" He's like, "Yeah, if you think you can get it done in like a day or whatever, or a week." I was like, "Bro, I spent like 17 hours finishing that bathroom."
Jesus.
It came out all right. I mean, it's not perfect, but I got the floor. I did like hexagon tile, bro, in the bathroom. Don't ever do a hexagon tile. If you ever do tiles, don't do it.
Just throwing
fucking
10.
nightmare.
Dude, I can't even fucking build my daughter's dollhouse without throwing 10 fits, watching 4 YouTube videos and the paper instructions.
Dude, those are actually harder than laying tile, I think, because you got like 400 bolts of like where the fuck why in there.
Yeah, it's like you're doing all the wooden structural shit, and then they're like, okay, put up this tiny plastic needle in a haystack towel rack piece. You're like, what is the we were doing good. Why veer off?
Yeah, I have like a bunk bed in my kids' room because we were planning on having another one or whatever. So I was like, we'll just get the bunk bed. That was a mistake. It was like the worst thing I've ever put together in my life. I was like, this is they
Plus,
almost got
he's
divorced
probably
trying to
fucking
do that.
climbing it and shit now. Just
Yeah.
You hear don't. Ah, Jesus, here we go.
My God. Not again. Not again. But yeah, so anyways, all that flipped the house and then found a good house out here. It's another fixer upper though, but gave us some cushion so I could finish barber school and stuff like that. And the wife, you know, came out and, supporting us financially while I was doing it. So it was a trial, bro, but we're here now.
So talk to me about COVID. Where were you when COVID happened?
Oh, I was at the power plant, man. So
You were
I was
still in
like
Arizona.
unaffected. Yep.
You worked right through it.
Worked right through it.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. That was probably maybe the only benefit of not having, a new kid and going through being a barber at that time period.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you have some. Did you have to? How long were you out for that? The whole year?
Nah. So, I'm in. So we moved from Arizona. My wife finished her PhD. First gig out is in this little town in PA, Meadville. Shout out to Meadville too. A lot of great people there. But if I could describe the town, it's kind of where the Amish would go shopping. Wasn't Amish country, but it was
Sounds
like
like
the
Target
biggest,
in New
closest
Jersey.
town. Yeah, exactly. They come to our Walmart in vans and fucking, break all the rules. I still don't understand that life.
Amish are weird people, man.
They fucking they have
They're
like
weird.
10 kids and they built 3 houses by the time they're 26.
They walk everywhere.
And
I
then
don't
when
know.
they leave, they're like fucking doing heroin, like getting hammered on their phones. I'm like, I don't understand I don't understand how this works. But anyway, so but yeah, so I just moved there in 2019 and I remember it was like right after the Super Bowl. It was the Chiefs and 49ers Super Bowl, and then all this word starts coming out about this virus. And
China virus.
there's all this. Dude, have you ever heard Jamie Foxx do a Trump impression?
No, I bet it's fucking good.
It's the fucking funniest thing. He's like, they tried to give me the virus. Excuse me. They tried to give me the virus.
You need to clip that in your edits,
Like,
bro.
who's they? Anyway, so they I saw the Rogan, like one of these Rogan podcasts actually. They had on some like expert, and I was
Such a
like,
good
holy
podcast.
fuck, this shit's real. Like I started like, and then my wife was 100% like, lock it down. It's all lock it down. I'm like, I mean, I don't know. So I just like, I decided to just like say like, yeah, let's, when COVID was going on, it seemed like, it's just gonna be a couple weeks. Nah, it's gonna be a couple more weeks.
Well, that's usually what it is like back when they had the H1N1 or whatever the fuck, like, oh, there's outbreak, and then everyone's freaking out, and then it's gone.
Kind of fades away. So yeah, it was kind of that feeling for sure. Like that's kind of what my boss was like too. She's like, just like mad cow disease. It's gonna fade away. And I'm just like, I don't know what this is. Let's go ahead and just get ahead of it and shut it down until further notice. So I felt like I was one of the first ones to shut it down. And then
Really?
like 4 days later, everyone starts like, holy shit, like freaking out. And our small town, it really wasn't too affected for the longest time, but you just had to do what you had to do. And I remember like my boss was just like wrecked. I mean, being a business owner in general, that would be pretty catastrophic before we knew about all the PPO shit and loans and stuff. But I just remember not being worried at all. And I was just like,
That's good.
yeah, let these fucking people cut their hair for a year. Like the appreciation is going to be tenfold on the back end. Let them cut their hair. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just cut someone yesterday that was she's like, yeah, during COVID I was cutting my kids' hair, and so they're pretty happy now that I'm not
Right.
doing
That's the
this.
sentiment from most
Yeah.
people is like,
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, this looks a lot better than what I've been doing through COVID.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, there was a lot of that. And my wife, of course, held us down, supportive. I remember my unemployment experience was pretty bad, like turning that in. A lot of people were capitalizing on that, getting that like 1,500 a week or whatever it was forever. Even after they went back to work, they're still getting like $2,000 a week. And I didn't get shit, dude. I put it in at the very beginning, didn't get anything. And then like it was that summer, we were working again. And all of a sudden, like I get this fucking lump sum of money. It just goes straight into my bank account because I did the direct deposit. I'm like, holy fucking shit. I'm like, I'm buying a MacBook Pro with this. That's the first thing I'm doing because here's a short little story. My MacBook Pro I had, this thing will still be firing on all cylinders, but my wife still denies this to this day, but there was some sort of breast milk situation that was spilled on my laptop. I open it up one day and I see like crusty shit. I'm like, what is that? Did you spill breast milk? And she's like, no, I don't know what happened. I don't know. And I'm just like, all right. And yeah. So she was basically using because she needed it a lot more than I did, like in school for her job and everything. So I was letting her use it a ton. And then that happened. So I didn't have a laptop for like, years. And then when that happened, I'm like, time to get this back. And look, I'm getting good use out of it now. All right. But so yeah. And a lot of people were like, I just want to see people. I can't I'm like, this is great. I'm playing Call of Duty all day. I'm putting on 25 pounds. Dude, I'm just now starting to lose. Like, I'm just now like hitting a stride with the intermittent fasting. I'm still like nowhere near what I need to be. Dude, when I met my wife, I was like 170, like a hair under 170, just fucking cut. And then like, dude, I got up to 207 at the height of COVID. We were these people.
Dang.
We were these people that were like traveling and doing all the shit you weren't supposed to do during COVID. Like we went to Aruba. We went to the. So I remember I'm like,
really?
One of those like extravagant. Our rent was $800, and we had a townhome that was like upstairs, downstairs, basement, biggest place we ever lived in. Free gas, and it was just like we're just pocketing all this money, so we'd spend it on like trips and shit. So
hell yeah.
I remember I got back from Aruba, and I was like, I am a fat piece of shit right now. I am 207. And so like I've been struggling just to get like under like 190 again. Yeah. So I'm like 189-ish right now. So I'm doing pretty good. Got the intermittent fasting going.
You've been doing that? How long you been doing that?
I basically lean that way anyway. Like I've always been.
I feel like it's pretty easy being a barber. Like you just don't eat in the morning, then you're working. So
right. And you fall 20 minutes behind and you're like, I can't afford to eat right now. I'm not gonna I can't afford to piss, let alone eat. Like dude, I'm like an astronaut. Like I'm able to hold my like urine. I don't even know if that's an astronaut thing, but like I was saying that the other day, I was like, I'm like a Navy SEAL. Like I can hold my urine. I'm like, they do that,
Astronauts
right?
don't even pee till they come back down to Earth. I don't think so.
Right. They don't use bathrooms in space. Come on.
They're in a suit the whole time, so they can't.
But yeah,
They don't just
so,
have a
like,
little catheter in at this time. They're just
yeah, they
peeing in
got
the
some
backpack.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we made it through COVID. I remember at the beginning we were in the salon like low key, you know, just like because we knew we were gonna come back to a fucking shit storm of people. And that was my thinking. I'm like, I'm not working like 12 hours a day cutting 25 heads. Like I'm not like
No.
I didn't get into this industry to do that. So
I think the one good thing that came from like COVID, like the aftermath, was like I think more people are setting up appointments like
yeah,
to
it definitely made it
come
a
in.
lot easier to do that.
So
That's yeah,
like you don't want to have like 50 people waiting, and so people just like, especially
exactly.
modern day, like people don't like to fucking wait anyway.
Right.
So everyone's just like, let's just set up an appointment and fucking.
Which is 100% what barbers would prefer over walk-ins.
Oh, for sure.
And
Yeah.
because you know what you're getting into, you're like, wait a minute, who the fuck is this guy? I cut this guy, but who is this guy?
Yeah. Fucking Facebook search real quick.
Yeah. Let me
What
put
kind of
up
hair is
something real quick that I saw. This popped up on my book yesterday.
Yeah.
Oops. Let me get this shit off here. So this popped up on my book yesterday. All right, I think I muted us. Sorry, I muted us. If you can kind of see, what's he say
Yeah,
here?
I read that out loud. I was like, fairy knots?
Yeah, he's like, I got fairy knot. I'm like, what the fuck am I getting into here? It's good that they're
He's got a
able
bunch
to
of Tinkerbells in his fucking beard. He's like, my daughter
right.
put those in there when I was sleeping. I don't know.
No, I think he just his beard, it was like ethnic hair, and his beard was just knotting up. And it wasn't even
Yeah.
that bad. Like
Yeah.
he just wanted to
Most
like
of the time, it's not that bad. They're like, "Oh,
no.
this is awful. I don't even know." I was like, "I don't know. I'll run a 3 over it, and you'll be fine." I think.
Right. Like he was kind of like, is there anything you could do to prevent the knots? I'm like, I mean, not really. You got to like just continue to brush it and pick it and just, moisturize it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes hair is hair. You can't change. Like, I love these people who's like, they come in and they're like, yeah, I've been parting my wet hair this way for years. And I was thinking, let's do it the other way. And I'm like, yeah, it's not how hair works usually. You kind of have to go with what your hair is naturally doing, and that's a good baseline, and then you work around
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And there's some people like, yeah, sometimes I part this way, sometimes I part that. I'm like, wait a minute. Which way you part your hair? Like,
Yeah. You want to do it
what's
both
gonna
ways?
affect how I cut it? Which way you want it parted? Like, we just can't. It's not reversible. This haircut.
Yeah. 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 I hate when they're like, yeah, I kind of like part it this way or whatever, and then they're like, well, I can still like, go this way, right? I'm like, well, that's not how I
No.
cut it. So
Not at all.
because you said something at the beginning. So like, oh, okay.
So you get through school, you get in your first shop.
Yeah, man.
So have you got anyone
3 years later.
3 years later? It's a long
Yep.
journey, man.
Long time.
It's
Lot
fucking
lot
great.
of manifesting, bro. Lot of manifesting.
So when
And
you start in the
motivational videos.
shop, you're nervous. You hit your first haircut that you felt like I knocked this one out of the park, right? And
Mhm.
then this guy comes in, He's feeling himself a little bit.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
You get this.
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna start bodybuilding like today, bro. Yeah, they got this new gym man over there off Grand, man.
You just came in with no shirt on.
Man.
So you get one of those sometimes, right? And
oh yeah,
that was the kind of shit in Arizona. You're coming in covered in sweat, and then you're just like trying to give them a skin fade, and this is all the hair sticking to their side of their head.
Yeah,
I just came back from the gym. It's like, why?
Yeah,
why would you do that?
The worst is when they come in with like, they have like a full head of hair, and it's like they have hair gel all through it.
Yeah.
And
it's just like, dude, I'm not fucking shampooing you.
I don't.
In my shop, you got to pay for that. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So I usually spray some like hair tonic mixed in with water and just brush it out as best as I can. I'm like, hey, you did this to yourself. This is a learning experience. Don't do that next time.
Don't do that. Yeah. Don't
do that.
The worst.
And then you get a guy that comes in that does, you're going through the consultation.
How would you like your cut today?
So you can just hook me up with taper around the sides and around the back. And if you can hook the top up with shears, that would be dope.
All right, cool, man. I got you.
Hook the top up with shears. All right. All right, man. Say less. I got you.
Yeah, you don't even say a specific length.
Dude, these fucking videos they're great too because like would you say I know this is your client. Would you quit doing this fake consultation? Like
that
you already know what it is. It's just like say same thing. If you're not gonna dive into it and get like detailed, just say fucking same thing.
What got me with that video is he's like taper all around the side. So you want a skin fade?
Right. Taper the sides and the back. And it's like, all right, hold on.
He's like, I want to taper all the way around. It's like that's a skin fade.
Right.
It's a skin fade. Tapers are different.
One of the things I remember Blanca talking about in barber school was the taper fade. There's a lot of terminology that means the same shit. That's super confusing sometimes.
Yeah, dude, that was a transition for me because I know like the terms from that barber school, and then I came to this one in Tennessee, and it's like a whole different clientele too. So you got like Blanca's more like Hispanic, and then this one in Tennessee was like just like African, like So the terms are like they're like a light fade or something like that was like something different for me. Like
one big one's a taper and a temp fade. A temp fade's a taper, right?
Yeah, right.
Like sometimes I ask myself, I'm like, that is a taper, right? Like it's like a high it's more or less like a high taper in my mind.
Yeah.
And so they say temp fade, and I'm like, all right. And then you hear blowout. And you're like, all right, well, wait a minute. I just basically
I don't offer that service.
Walk through it.
Brazilian. You talking about a Brazilian blowout right now? Is that
no? That all it is.
You
is
gotta go
like it's usually like a low fade.
Yeah.
Or even a taper sometimes. It's just means something different. There's clients, they hear shit and they don't even know what the fuck they're talking about at the time.
No.
Shout out to the clients. But no.
I just feel like they do a little bit
they
of
hear the word low fade. And some of them think they hear the word low and they think that's the like how short their hair is, how short or long their hair. Yeah, I want it real low. It's like, no. That's where it is on your head. Low,
you know what
high,
irritates me the most? You know what irritates me the most is when they kind of, you get the people like, I had this the other day. This guy came to like, he's like, I want a fade. I was like, okay, what kind of fade?
How short of a fade are we talking?
We can go from a 3 to a 1, or we can go from a, you want a bald fade? You want skin to show? Or like, what are we talking here? He's like, yeah, like a fade. I'm like, bro, I want to throw elbows at you right now.
I automatically assume skin fade when they say, I want to fade.
Yeah.
Just fade it. And I'm like, At our shop, we have a couple of different tiers. We have something called a regular haircut and a signature haircut.
Yeah.
Signature usually involves something skin fade,
Fancy.
faux hawk,
Yeah.
anything that goes down to skin typically is under the signature tier. Then regular, it's like a 1 or a half is the shortest we can go. And they'll book a fucking
smart.
regular haircut, and then they'll be like, yeah, so this is the picture I want. It's a fucking skin fade.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you not read the description? Never mind.
No.
Sometimes I'm like, all right, I'll do a half. That's all I have time for. I really can't. So for next time, and some people won't even do the half because it's essentially a skin fade, and it still takes more time than the 30-minute window we're allotted. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. Like, how have you been? Have you been getting booked back to back since you've been in the shop? Like, have you ran into the situation at least where you have 3 haircuts in a row? Is it walk-ins or appointments at your spot?
It's both.
Right, we do both.
We do both. I mean, since I'm new, I'm taking walk-ins and stuff too, but everyone else is booked really in the shop.
So you're getting everyone.
I'm getting most. I mean, we got a couple new barbers now too, so splitting that up a little bit, but I've probably got like, I don't know, 30, 40 clients probably now.
It's great. So have you booked? Have you had 3 bookings back to back?
I've had 3, yeah.
So how do you handle that stress? Because you're new in the shop, you're hyper aware of your environment. You're trying to retain all of these new clients.
Yeah, trying to talk to them, get to know them and stuff.
Yeah, you're bullshitting.
Personal.
So you start to fall behind. It starts to domino on you.
Yeah,
so how do you handle that anxiety? That's a whole different. That's a good anxiety. It's a good problem to have, but anxiety.
It's happened like that situation where I've gotten behind. It's happened maybe twice because I allot like a 45-minute window for my haircuts.
Yeah.
So which is plenty of time, I think. And sometimes I'll go over if I'm like chatting or don't have anyone or whatever. But
right, yeah, you don't have anyone. Why not?
Yeah, so I usually give myself enough time, but the last time I had it, where it was like I was probably like 20, 30 minutes behind. I was like, fuck. But it was because I took a walk in between one of my appointments because this guy, he said, I will have trust issues from now on when someone says this. He's like, I'm easy, man. I just, like 2 on the side. 2 aside,
and then he's like, "Hey, what do you think about doing the mustache? What do you think about lining up the beard under?"
Bro, he was like 2 on the side, whatever off the top. And this guy, he was like, I like showed him the mirror. I like did a little bit off the top. He's like, think we could go shorter? He's like, I want to be able to mess it around still, but a little bit shorter. We were already at scissor length or finger length.
Right.
I was like, bro, if I go any shorter than this, it's gonna be a buzz cut.
It's gonna be a guard. You could have told me that from the fucking beginning. You wanted the 6 guard.
Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. I was like, you're not going to be able to style. He's already like balding right here anyway. So he's like, I think he was trying to match it with that. I was like, but you're not going to be able to style it. And so so we do that. And then it's too short. It's too short at that point.
Jesus Christ.
And fucking,
can't help these people.
He wanted a taper in the back. He wanted it shorter in the back or whatever. I was like, come on, man. I like fitted you in right before my appointment. Like you want all this fancy shit. You're like,
so I
did at the beginning, but
I got a little thing for you here. Here's one.
Homes and the blue juice. Anybody ever ask what that blue juice is? What is that? You ever see him whip out the comb? Okay, we're gonna comb your hair. Hey, you want to get the acid off the comb? That's why it's falling out.
That's why it's falling out.
We got a little visitor. You want to say hi, bud? This is my
hi, Bentley. What's up, bud?
Right here. What's up, dude? You say hi?
Hi.
Just waking up.
We're live.
You're on live video now, bro. You want to go get mom? No? All right. Anyway.
So I was going to put that up. What's client excuses for balding? You hear a lot of, right?
I wear a hat too much.
It's like, yeah, I wore the hat. It's football, dude. When I played football, the helmet, it just made me bald.
Yeah.
No, how about dude, I let her cut my hair one time. After that, never grew the same.
Never grew back.
Yeah. Dude, it was over.
It's like I started growing the beard and then it all left. I don't know, something like that. All right, bud, go get mom. You don't want to.
So we sometimes get a lot of high profile clients in the shop.
Yeah.
I always joke around and I say, like, if Trey Young ever comes in here, I gotta break his balls, right? About his hair.
Yeah, his hair's bad.
I gotta be like, dude,
I don't think
I'm like, how old are you? 24? It's over, dude. It's over. Cut it off. Just looks absolutely horrific on the court.
He looks like someone that would walk into barber school, you know what I mean? Like, his hair is just like
Trey Young, like, I'm a New York Knicks fan. There's like a little bit of a rivalry with the Knicks and Hawks.
Yeah.
And he
Billy, you gotta go, bro.
What was my whole point there? But yeah, so it seems like it looks a lot better like if he's like not on the court, but if he's on the court, it just looks absolutely horrific. Like, so yeah, that guy annoys me. He reminds me of like your little brother you can't beat in a video game. He's so good, and you just want to like kick him in the back of the head.
Yeah, he's so tiny too out there. It just looks like
he's definitely an annoyance.
He's like a little kid for sure.
But yeah, staying on time's a task at my shop for sure because we have a 30-minute window for the regular, and we'd have a 45, which ends up it blocks off the hour.
Yeah,
for anything above basically. That. But we also have just an hour so say someone got a bald fade and a beard, also have an hour for that. So
yeah, put hours for that.
That's usually.
What is her saying?
He's talking about being a barber. Okay.
And not the words.
It's all about cutting hair, buddy.
Sorry,
but
that's the worst.
Yeah, so like
I was like, sorry.
It's all good. It happened. I'm surprised it hasn't happened to me yet. We've been rocking for a while. But yeah, like I can't keep up with 30-minute haircuts, dude. I run my yap too much.
Like, that would be tough.
Especially because I'm trying to retain these guys. It's different if I've been cutting them for years and I know what it is. And sometimes you get clients you've been cutting for so long, you run out of shit to talk about. So
it's true too. Yeah.
Some days you just get after it, get in and out.
Yeah.
But like that's the thing when I'm falling behind. That's one of the things. I get quiet. I'll shut the fuck up when I'm running behind. That's a telltale sign that for the clients watching this out there, that's a telltale sign I'm running super behind if I just stop talking.
I think that's pretty universal. I think I mean, that's what I did too. I was like, I'm running 30 minutes behind. And what I kind of do is just like, my appointment shows up and I'll just be like, I'll just walk over to him and be like, hey man, it's going to be like 20, 30 minutes.
When you're at that 20-minute plus mark, you got to walk over and be like,
yeah, you got to let them know.
We got 2 clients sitting on the couch waiting for you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I don't know if you want to run and grab lunch or something real quick. But hey, you don't got anything going on
about your shop
right?
is you got a bar at your shop, so they can kind of like if you are running behind, that's pretty cool.
It's one of the best places I could have picked to work, dude. It's incredible. I mean, the clientele's very upper tier, but these guys are busy. They got to work. Some of them are on their lunch. Some of them I got a conference I gotta get to. It's just a lot of shit like that. And then mostly everyone's cool though. The worst you get is just and those type of clients are just like, yes, I was in Miami this week. I was in LA last week, going to New York tomorrow. and they're just like patting themselves on the back the whole haircut, which is fine. Talk your shit. I mean, you deserve it if you've gotten to that point, but it's just like, all right, man, I got it. Like, I've never tried to been like the braggadocious type too much.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let them know, but
yeah.
I've gotten some.
I haven't got too many of those.
No,
maybe one. I've been kind of like, I don't know if I should be doing this because I'm a new barber, but like, if there's people I don't vibe with or whatever, and I don't like the haircut that they get, I don't even give them my number. I'm like, all right, thanks for coming.
That is 100%. You're starting off. That's one of the things I'm going to talk to you about.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep all these guys. If you don't like someone, fuck them.
Yeah. Dude.
You have to kind of like your clients. If you don't like your client, dude, it's not worth it. It is not worth it.
I mean, because my shop owner's kind of been, super helpful in like how I approach like clients and stuff, and like retaining them, and I've done pretty good, I think, at retaining the ones that I want. But he's like, you should get everyone your number, and I was like, I don't know if I'd want to give everyone my number. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, my dream clientele is not like skin fades all the time. Like, I don't want to do skin fades all the time. Like, like I had an old guy come in and he's like, 4 on the sides, not faded, 6 on top.
Keep that guy.
You are a dream.
Right. These people get pissed about cutting old guys. Cool. I'm like, they're the easiest fucking people you could make money off of.
If the first thing that they do when they get out of the barber chair is go to the mirror and like, doing this, you're not getting my number. It's just not happening.
They're looking at the mirror. There's those clients you have no idea whether they like the haircut or not.
Yeah.
Just like looking in the mirror for like, looks good.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Have a good day. I'm like, and then they come back and you're like, I can't read this guy. Dude, I had a guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
There's a lot like that.
Right. This guy came in once a week, got a flat top once a week. Every week he'd come in. This guy crushed it through COVID because he owned a lumber company. So great client to have for sure.
Yeah.
And, but just like you said earlier, who the fuck wants to do flat tops, right? A lot of barbers don't like doing flat tops, including me. I don't think I've done a flat top since I've had that guy. And I'm all right doing flat tops now because of him. I told him right out of the gate because he had this woman he'd go to that he loved the flat top. But he told me he was
That's my thing is like, why are you going to someone else if someone else did it and you loved it? Go on.
Yeah. So like, that was the weird. I can't quite remember what pushed him to trying me out, but at the beginning he'd be like, she gets it flatter, but I literally like everything else you do better. Everything else is good, but the flat top we got to work on. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't claim to be the flat top barber. I'll tell you straight up. Like this isn't my go-to haircut for sure, but you keep coming to me. We'll work. Well, we'll get better and better. Of course.
Bro, I'm glad I don't have any flat tops yet, because that would give me like PTSD of like Arizona, bro.
So yeah, I ended up being the flat top barber guy for him, at least.
For him.
Yeah. So yeah, it was good. He was a great client. He'd also get his nose waxed every week. I added that
I saw
to the
some
repertoire.
of the videos you posted.
Yeah.
I think you'd post that on your story or something. I'm like, oh goddamn, he's out there doing nose fucking waxing.
Yeah. In the salon, I'm trying to mix in every little, piece I could learn from them, and that was one of them. It's so easy, dude. You just take 2 Q-tips, you work them together, you walk over to your client as you're rolling them, as they start to harden a little bit, and then you get them to a ball. They're laid back. You got a little paper towel over their mustache if they got one, and you just pop them in. 2 minutes go by, you're fucking line up their beard while you're waiting or whatever. And then boom, you're done. There's 12 to 15 extra bucks in your pocket right there for 2 minutes of work. But so yeah, he was always a guy though. Like he'd have this like puss on his face every time I cut his hair, And I'm like, does this guy even like me? And then he would text me like he was someone too that never. It was a job to make him finally. At one point, it was like you have a standing appointment at 10 o'clock every Friday, standing appointment, because I couldn't get him to fucking make an appointment. He'd text me at 7 a.m. and be like, hey, can I come through today? And if I said, dude, I got nothing, he would get mad at me. I'm like, you can't do this, dude. I would come in for him early sometimes, but yeah, back to the clients you don't want. So this guy turned me into like Joe Pesci one morning, dude. Like, he's already a fucking douchebag. He's patting himself on the back of how accomplished he is. He's talking about he can fight. He's like, dude, I punched this one guy. He was on one side of the street. He landed on the other side of the street. That's how hard I hit him. It's like, dude, I got it. You're tough. I got it. You're tough. All right. You can fight. Great. Can I cut your hair now? And he fucking stood me up like 2 times in a row. And I think on the third time or the second time, it was like Christmas time. I had a fucking slate of like 10 hours booked solid the whole day. And I'm like, all right, I'll come in at 7 a.m. for you. I'm scraping ice off my car for this motherfucker, right?
Oh, goddamn.
And I come
Things I would not do.
I come in, it's like 7:10. I'm like, this fucking guy didn't show up. And I could have swore I saw him pull in the parking lot and then pull out. Like a woman got in his car and then he fucking pulled out. I'm like, well, this guy's get blowy real quick and left. What's going on? And so I messaged him. I'm like, dude, it's too late. You're gonna fuck me for my whole day if you come now. And he's like, dude, I'm almost there. It's like, dude, no. And then I put him on the blacklist after that. You can't. I saw this meme the other day. He's like, if you stand me up 3 times, I come in early for you. I don't want to charge you more. I don't want to blacklist you as a client. I want to fucking fight you.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, sure. I was like, he's got a point.
I'd be hot too.
Right. Yeah. So
that's a lot of caffeine to get you through the rest of that day.
Even though you're starting off, you don't have to retain every single guy, every piece of shit out there. Like, form the clients you want to form. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I feel like, that's kind of the approach I'm taking, man. Is just like, maybe it'll take me longer to get booked out, but when I do get booked out, it's gonna be cake. It's gonna be easy shit,
and it's gonna be stressful too. Like, it's gonna be a lot of adversity thrown at you in a good way. So anytime I'm falling behind, like a couple Saturdays ago, I was getting fucking drilled. My first client, he normally comes in every Saturday morning. And he comes in like he's like ex-military. He comes in super early, and I know that, so I normally come in like 15 to 20 early too, so I can get a good start on my day. Make sure I don't fall behind because he's in a 30-minute slot. But we bullshit a ton, and he hit me with the let's switch it up today. I was like, damn. Shit, all right, no biggie, and so. I don't know. I was taking a little longer on the cut and I was bullshitting with them. And next thing you know, I'm like, fuck, I'm like 10 minutes behind. And he's my first one. And he's normally someone I can bank on. I'm going to run on time with him because he's always early. And so I got booked solid. And it ended up being one of those things where we have assistants at the shop, which is super helpful and helpful on keeping you on time. There's not a lot of excuses of falling behind in our shop, except for that 30-minute window. That can be difficult for sure. But they sweep your hair, they call your clients, they greet your clients, ask them if they want something to drink, whatever. Right. It's great, dude, because, I mean, you really don't have too much to complain about. I was at the point to where the assistant was calling, 2 clients ahead, being like, hey, he's behind 30 minutes. Like, and all of them were good. And usually those are the moments where you're just like hoping for a no show. You're like, save my life, please. And then like sometimes in those moments you're stressed out, and I had this thought. I was just like, dude, you love doing this. This is what you wanted to do. Like, just smile. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, this is your shit, man. You wanted this. And so this is part of the territory. You're gonna go through those type of things. It happens.
Yeah. That kind of brings me to the little motivational videos and stuff that we did, bro.
Yes.
It'd be a part of my algorithms. Like, why are you stressing about all this shit that doesn't matter? Like, if you're doing, what you want to do, all the outside shit's just like, it's just noise. It's like white noise, bro. It's nothing.
100%. You know what I mean? So when I wanted to do this podcast back in November, I started putting it in the universe, wanting to do it.
Manifest, bro. I'm big on it.
Yeah, I was a little apprehensive. I'm normally a guy that's behind the camera. Anything I've done, I'm normally not in front of the camera, so I didn't know really how it would go.
Yeah.
Speaking in front of the camera, Jesus Christ, Matt, shave your beard. Shape up your shit.
I was gonna say you need to grow it out longer, bro. You need to get it.
I've been going a lot tighter recently, but I go through phases for sure. But yeah, so I kind of told Brock I was like interested in doing it, and I was kind of wanting to go the co-host route in the beginning, but
with Tony
I was definitely searching for some people that I would feel like would be a good fit to be a co-host. But I was like, dude, you could just have a guest every podcast, and that's your co-host essentially. So
that's what I was trying to tell you, man.
Yeah.
When you say you're like, I
Brock
don't know,
was sending me shit. Brock was the driving force of the motivation or the inspiration for me to push forward here. He's sending me cheesy motivational videos.
Bro,
some of them are like, this is some good shit, and then some of them you're like, come on, man, why are they playing this music behind this guy with his shirt off? Like, this guy just wanted to show his abs. Come on.
I think I wasn't even like watching the videos. I was just like listening to like the motivational part of it, and I didn't even realize what was actual in the video.
Right.
Like, that makes sense. And like, I don't even know why this guy's flexing the way he is in the mirror, but
he's just
the words
like,
are true.
Bro, if you're not getting better every day, what are you doing? You were given a gift. Like, those guys, like, that's one of the things on this podcast. Like, I'm telling people I want to do a podcast. I'm like, it's not that podcast. I'm not going to be like, bro, manifest it. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a little bit of like, there's going to be some real shit in there, but I'm not trying to make it that. I saw this one the other day, just an absolutely horrific motivational video.
We have the choice each and every single day to either do things that our future self will be thankful for or that we'll regret. Why not make the choice to invest in ourselves and the best version of ourselves and continue down that path?
All right, right out of the gate.
I don't even like
anyone who holds their hands like this when they're speaking, this guy's a fucking fraud.
This guy is like Talladega Nights. He's like, what do I do with my hands?
Right. Anytime you see someone go, it's like car dealership tendencies. This fucking guy is full of shit. I'm not going to trust one thing that comes out of this fucking guy's mouth if he's doing this.
What do I do with my hands?
Right.
To be able to look back and say, we did the things the right way, and we were able to see the reward from that. It's your time to own your success. And I can't wait to support you in that journey. Let's go. We got this.
So he has too much of a list. You up, Brock, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what does. I mean, this guy is just
I'm ready to run
fucking intensity.
Yeah, I'm ready to
I'm ready to run through a wall. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get out there Is it raining? I'm ready to go Rocky Balboa shit right now. I want to go for a run.
I'm about to start a business on the computer as we're speaking.
Right. I was just like, oh God, some of these
cringe.
Things,
yeah, that one's bad.
Some of these are
rough. My favorite one though, I think, is the ones like where you talk about doing something and then you don't do it, and then you're like old and dying, and then you look back.
Oh yeah,
dude. Like, I regret I regret not like giving it at all. And that's how I got like I like finished this. I was like, I don't want to fucking I don't want to
100%
look back and be like,
resonated with you.
I don't want to be fucking worn out from doing this 12-hour shift all the time. And
I ask a lot of my clients, I'm like, so what do you do for work? And they're like, I'm a software engineer. I'm an
a
accountant.
lot of those.
I'm, just something. It's not your like dream job, it seems.
Yeah.
So I asked him, I was like, dude, is that what you always wanted to do? Was that the dream? And they're like, hell no. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing then?
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I really wanted to become a chef, but there's not a lot of money unless you own your own. I'm like, dude, like, that's exactly what I tell him. I'm like, what you want to look like 30 years down the road and be like, why didn't I do that? Like, you're going to be one of these guys that just like, and then what they do is they shit on everyone else trying to pursue their dream. And it's nothing about the person they're talking to. It's all about them and what they didn't do.
Because they're too scared to pursue their thing.
Exactly. So
Take that. I mean, like the financial thing is like the biggest part of like the dream, and everyone wants to like just like
that
quit and
stability?
go. Yes, I mean, I quit on my dream 3 years ago, and then I was able to come back because it took over, and I just like I can't be that person that gives up on it. But
right. That's why I love barber
like,
school. Like you're in this school with a ton of people that have sacrificed something, that gave up, I looked at a lot of like the younger students in our barber school. Anyone that was like 19, 20, I fucking envied them big time. I'm like, I should have been you. I should have fucking did this the first time I wanted to do it. And you're going to be in a position where you're 10 steps ahead of everyone. And then you saw people like, like Terry and Dave that was in there. These guys are, early 40s. Dave was like 50. I was like, okay, these guys are you guys are like super inspirational to me because like you fucking worked that job you hated for a while. It's never too late, basically, is what they taught me.
Right.
So those guys, I love those guys for that. And yeah, it was just kind of cool. They lived life. They had a lot more experience, and they weren't afraid to lend that knowledge and everything. So, but yeah, everyone's broke. Everyone's making a sacrifice in there.
Yep.
Like that's why I had to just chip away. But at the same time, my wife was like, because I sold insurance, was my last like full-time gig before I moved to Arizona. I sold car insurance in a car dealership, and just like that's when I knew, nah, this ain't it. Like I have to go after barbering. I have to do this because I can't be this guy fucking sitting in the office in the coffee room just bullshit. Like it was like just eating me alive inside. So, and I wasn't even bad at the job. Like I wasn't bad like making sales on the phone all day. Like ABC, always be closing. Like just convincing people, because they ran it ass backwards in there. They'd let someone come in, buy a car, talk to their agent. It was a Allstate agency in the car dealership. So it should be part of the car buying process. It's like, oh, you're waiting on finance. You're sitting outside of our offices. Why don't we quote you for a car insurance quote? Well, no, they were so worried about losing the car sale if their like premium went up or something that they just fuck it. We'll call them after they go home. As you can imagine, not a very high success rate in doing that.
Yeah.
So my spiel was always like, oh, you've been with State Farm for years. Well, odds are, sir, you've been overpaying for years. So I got a little bit of information here. I just need a little more info. I could run you a quote. And it was a hard swing because Allstate, they really don't, they're more of they preach protection more than price. And you have to have like decent credit too to get a decent quote. So if their credit was shit, I'm like, dude, just call Geico. And they get pissed at me for that. I'm like, what? You want their fucking premium to be 18 grand a month? Like, that's where we're at right now. They want to pay it. Let them pay. I'm like, fuck that, dude. Like, I'm too honest for this fucking
Those
job.
are the type of people. That's the type of like customer service that is not fun to do. Like,
no, and then you gotta be fake on the phone all day. That's another great thing about being a barber. You don't have to be a fake. I mean, you know, everyone's fake to a degree. You throw on the face or whatever, but like, you know, part of what I feel like a lot of my clients, you know, I retain and like me because I'm just like, I don't really fuck around with being someone fake. I just, you know, here's me. Here's, you know, I'm an idiot. What the fuck I know? I'm going to tell you about it.
Can't tell you what I think. It's not educated, but it's
I failed math. I went to summer school. Like, I didn't graduate college because I needed some sort of basic math in there. And so I came down to the point where I was like, okay, what degree can I get without a math? And I remember I was in like criminal justice.
A math.
Yeah, I remember I was in criminal justice. And I was like acing everything, but I was like, what am I going to fucking do with this job? Be a correctional officer? Be a cop? Like, I don't want to fucking do that. And so I dropped out and I worked and just, you know, lived life a little bit, met people, made friends, lost friends. It's part of the journey there. But, yeah, dude, it's a crazy thing. So I got a little thing we can kind of break down. I've been doing a little series here. I wanted to make it a segment on the podcast with cutting up some clients here. So were you a college basketball guy at any point? No. There's a little bit of that. Let me actually throw a different one in here. Throw a different one up. My guy, Michael Simmons. He's a pretty cool dude. This guy's a physical therapist. Here we go. Then we're going to wrap this thing up. Where'd he go? There he is. All right. So tell me what you're saying about that ointment. No, I'm just kidding.
Michael, tell me. This was in confidence.
Tell me what we're doing today.
Same as usual. Same thing. Yeah. Not trying to branch out too much.
I'm not going to be like, oh shit. So how's work then?
It's picking up.
How does it pick up in the physical therapy industry?
So usually, in the beginning of the year, I see a bunch of like older patients, retirees, because Medicare restarts. And I see more of like the commercial insurances at the end of the year because everyone's met their out of pocket for the most part.
I thought people. Dude, real quick. So I had this physical therapist yesterday. He was one of these guys that like didn't fuck with his hair ever, or touch his beard, and I'm, you know, his wife appreciated what I did for sure. But dude, he was like dropping gems on me. I was like, anytime I get these people, like I use the clients as much as they use me, dude. He's like, this band in your hand right here that connects your thumb to your index finger. I'm holding my, I'm like this all day, holding my fucking comb.
Yeah.
And so this thing gets tight and sore on me a lot. And he was telling me, he's like, so there's this nerve on this side of your hand. If you press and massage that, it actually, you'll feel it there in your hand. I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like that's a game changer. So like, and then like ice in it, you're going to feel it on that one. So yeah, like if you've been getting a lot of sores, the neck, the feet, the hands, those are usually the three things for me that rip me up. I live by the frozen ice bottle or ice water bottle. I got like 4 in rotation in the freezer always. I just bringing them out, putting them on my neck. It's kind of my routine. One of those massage guns. You get one of those?
I do, man, but I don't like the way it feels, man. Like after I feel like itchy or something. Do you feel
Oh
that?
yeah, because it's just vibrating you're always like itching your
Yeah.
nose.
I'm
always
like, what the
massaging my
fuck is
neck.
going on?
Makes my
Yeah.
nose itch.
It's
So,
weird.
all right. Let's get this thing.
Just rolling ankles more than usual
Well,
or something.
yeah, that too. Because like anyone who like went on ski trips or anything,
Blew out their knee.
Yep, I'm gonna be seeing them, or a lot of these New Year's resolutioners who are going to the gym. They don't know what they're doing.
Had a setback.
God bless
Yep,
them.
have a setback, and I actually will be with the company for 1 year come
Good shit,
on
man.
Valentine's Day.
What's the longest job you ever worked? How many years?
Well, do you mean like career wise or
Any
like?
job.
So
Is this the longest you've ever worked a job?
No, so I started a job at a
1 year.
local gas station in my hometown.
Right, you told me that.
I was like 12.
So you worked there a while.
I was there from 12 to 19.
Humble beginnings. You got
Yeah.
you learned a lot of skills in that more than you probably realized.
Yeah,
Just dealing with people on a day-to-day basis alone was probably
it built character,
100%.
especially in rural Missouri. Oh yeah, it would have been 2019.
2020.
Oh yeah, so
It
I
was
guess
like right
3.
before COVID when they won.
I guess technically 3 years then.
It was like Super Bowl happened, then they're like, all right, COVID's here.
Yep.
But I just remember that summer from like middle school to high school. That was just like a very memorable time. Just staying up all night playing Madden tournaments.
Yep.
My buddies. I would always win.
Oh, I was 12, so I was in 6th grade. But I was like just an under the table like shelf stalker. And
back in my hometown, you know, all the like local baseball games and shit.
Oh yeah.
Like working the concession stand. That was like a good gig. Yeah, all my friends always worked those concession stand jobs. And like, I'm so bad at math, I had a hard time like counting back change. So I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can handle this.
You stock the fridge. Like,
yeah, I'm just there for moral support.
Yeah, I was just more or less there just to support my friends because I had nothing else.
Someone, speaking on change, dude, I had someone the other day like hand me like, what the fuck was it? He wanted change back, and like I handed him change back, and like he was like taking money from me at this point. I was like, I don't know if this is right.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what do you say
we were
when
just like exchanging bills back and forth? I was like, I don't know.
say the cut's like 40 or 50 or whatever, and they hand you $100 bill.
Yeah,
and you're just like I'm normally like, let me go get your change. Like I don't even like, do you want change back or thanks, man?
Yeah.
Saw me the other day, like barbers start like patting their pockets, like, here, let me get your change. Shit. I'll be right back. Just kind of waiting on them to be like, no, it's good. Just good. Let's keep it.
Someone asked me the other day, they were like, you want will you take 50? I was like, yeah, I'll take 50. Do you want change back though? So I'll just take 50 if that's what you're asking
50?
me.
What kind of question is that?
He's like, are you good with 50? I was like, to keep? Is that what we're talking about? Because yes, I'll take that for sure.
Like I hand them the point of sale thing, like this little square, terminal thing.
Yeah.
And like, just says the price and like tap or, insert card. And they're always like, oh, can I tip on this? I'm like, yeah. It's gonna ask you. Relax.
Yeah. I don't
haven't got that. I'm like, it'll ask you after. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
That's always
so I like use Venmo or Cash App because I don't take card. And so people like, can I? So it's like $35 for the haircut.
You don't take card? So the shop's cash or Venmo or Cash App.
Yeah. I mean, everyone does their own thing. I just don't have a card reader yet.
So that's one of the things I'm kind of excited about. I guess starting this year, going to next year, I'll kind of finally know how much money I'm making.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, I bought a new car in the middle of COVID, too. And it wasn't new. It was used. But I'm just at the car dealership, and I came with cash, like to put down. I had my car. I already called my insurance provider and added the car already. So I'm buying this car. I'm showing up and leaving with this car. And I tell them, I'm like, so here's a situation. Like, I'm a barber. There's a lot of undocumented earnings. So when you run my credit, it's not going to be horrific by any means, but the income to debt ratio is not going to make a lot of sense. So, I'll just tell you a ballpark of what I make. And so, they go back to the financial advisor guy, keep coming back. And they were just like, yeah, we think you make a little more than that. I was like, all right, say this. And then they came back and they were just like, so what's the number you want to get your payment down to? I just told them a number and then they're like, bam, bet. And then that was that.
Made it happen.
So yeah, they don't give a shit about how much you make. If they can hit a number and get a bank. And then granted, all these banks are calling me every time they come back. It's like, yeah, we need some more information. It's like, no, I'm not going to give you 47 pay stubs. Like, it's 2023. Why do we still have to fucking supply all these pay stubs? You fucking know it. You can get that information somehow. Why do I got to do it? Or are you making me go to work for the financial guy?
Yeah. I can't fucking find those pay stubs anyway.
So yeah, a lot of barbers, it's a lot of cash only stuff. And a lot of barbers have no idea how much money they make. And it's kind of a problem. And I'm kind of one of those people. Like, for a while, I was just like, I don't even care. Like, I know I'm paying my bills. I know I got some left over. Like, I'm not investing into anything really, which is one of my goals for this year. I kind of want to get into that. And honestly, I'm going to invite on a guest that one of my friends and clients that is pretty well versed in that. He's actually a financial coach and he's crushing it. He's a cool financial coach. There's these guys that you hear financial coach and you're like, oh God, here we go. So no, he's actually pretty cool dude. So I want to have him on here and kind of give barbers a easy way they can invest and just talk just talk some relatable stuff on how, maybe a checklist on how we can just be more money smart.
Yeah.
A lot of barbers are spending money on dumb shit. Shoes, fucking watches, chains, cars. Yeah. Motorcycles. You name it.
You just named every barber in my shop, bro.
Right. So, and I want to tell you, just, say that shop's not working out, but it sounds like it is. It sounds like everything's going good.
Yeah, man, it's a good shop for sure.
There's a lot of positives to draw from just sticking with the shop you're in.
Yeah. That was kind of my process, man, trying to figure out the right shop. And I was mainly
do
just
all
looking
that
for
in the beginning. Don't be one of these guys that starts in a shop, hates it, hops in another shop. That just builds bad habits.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of gives you an out when things get rough because you're like, oh, I left before. What's leaving again? What's it going to hurt? So it starts a bad cycle.
When I think about it, it's just how are you going to keep clientele if you're hopping everywhere? I don't want to be hopping anywhere.
Yeah, there's that aspect for sure. And it's just, giving something, there's plenty of benefit from giving something a chance. And even if it doesn't work out in the end, you built some team building, working in a team. That was something I had to learn. I'm someone who's hyper aware, with social awareness of my surroundings. I'm a nightmare to be around. My wife can't stand me when we're at the grocery store, or the airport, because I'm just I'm so aware of everyone else, what they're doing. I can't be present on what we're doing. I'm just babe, come on, wrap it up in the cheese aisle. This fucking guy's waiting behind us. Or at the airport. Come on, you've been here before. Take your shoes off. Fuck. Come on, speed this up. Keep it moving. Keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's one of my flaws. I'm too hyper aware. So a lot of the shops I've worked in, I've been the lone guy. Like my first shop, I was their first employee. Second shop, I'm in the salon, and I'm the only of my kind in there. I'm the only barber, the only guy in there. You know, we tried to get other barbers, and they didn't last. It didn't work out. But so when I worked in this shop, it was like, and even in my first shop, I had some brief experience with working with some other barbers that weren't my bosses. So it took a little bit of familiarizing and getting used to working in a team, because you know, when you start off, especially if the team's pretty big, you're doing a lot of sitting, and you're sitting there and you're just watching everyone else cut. And some people, they go in the back, they don't stay on the floor, which is fine. But I'm someone that I like to stay on the floor, you know, whether that looks good or bad, you know, to everyone else that I'm sitting there busy or not, like, oh well, but like, I'm going to be the first one to grab a walk in. Like, I'm going to grab opportunities when they come. So
for
I
sure.
always like to stay on the floor. But yeah, you're just looking around, like, it's just, you know, you're kind of judging yourself and comparing yourself to everyone else. And it's just, it's not good for your brain to do that. So you just gotta like just zero in, stay focused, and just be like, I'm fine. Because you like, I get my own head even to this day. Like, I get my own head a ton with shit.
Yeah.
So like,
oh shit.
I
One
hate
second.
sitting. What's up, brother?
I gotta get the. I think my kid's giving some shit. Hold up.
So yeah, guys, like for the viewers out there, all 5 of you, yeah, it's something. Don't get in your head too much. Just stay focused on what you're doing. You know, one cool thing about barbering is like, it's a good distraction from your distractions. You got a lot going on in your life and your environment. Even, you know, you get a couple clients in a row, 2, 3 clients. It kind of helps by just, you know, organically distract you from any bullshit or distractions going on in your life, which you want to remove as many as you can. So, but yeah, man, that's my little Dr. Phil for you to go. But so Brox, while he's running with this kid real quick, saw this on TV the other day. I saw this on someone's story.
What is that?
Do you do this as much as me?
Yeah.
You're watching a movie or something, you're like, holy shit, I'm watching Carlito's Way. All of a sudden, one scene, he's got a fucking full beard. The next second, it's lined up. Al Pacino,
yeah.
beard's
my
all
wife is probably my wife's least favorite thing now is every time we're watching a show, it's like, what kind of fucking haircut is that? She's like, can you just like go downstairs? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I understand.
Right. Like
but like, can we get to the bottom of this before I go downstairs? Like,
outside of me just constantly like, oh, that's the guy from what's that movie? And I fucking look it up. I'm driving my wife nuts. She's like, would you shut up and watch the movie?
You know what she hates the most? Because she loves this show. It's called I know you've heard of it, The Bachelor, whatever the fuck.
Dude, that's kind of our guilty pleasure show.
You like that show, man?
We're all caught up. We just
start watching it. I tell you what, I don't mind watching it, but I have to talk shit the entire time.
No. That's what we do. That's part of the viewing experience. It's almost like you enjoy trashing it more. It's like we were watching the Grammys the other night.
People. Yeah. You what?
Like, we don't watch the shit to just enjoy it. We watch it to trash it most of the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. My wife like enjoys it. I don't know. But I'm just like, yeah, I bet he does like this woman and all these other women date him at the same fucking time. Must be nice.
Yo, how about this fucking guy though that's on this season? He's viewed as this like good guy, like almost like virgin tendencies. This guy's making out with every fucking broad that he's sitting on the couch with. I'm like, I'm like, why they paint this guy as some like softy? This guy's a savage.
Bro, I haven't even watched it, but like I walked in and she was watching like the first episode or something. And I was like, who's this fucking douche canoe? Like, what? He looks like an absolute douche. And I was
Right.
like, these women want to date this guy? He looks like a fucking asshole.
He actually seems like a nice guy, but like, yeah, they make him out to be this like this sweetheart of a guy, and he's just fucking tonguing every chick that's on the couch with them.
No, it's all.
What about
it's all fake,
what
dude.
about Love Is Blind? You guys get into that one?
Huh?
Love Is
I
Blind.
think my wife did. Where's that? Where? How's it go? What's the setup on that one?
So they don't see. It's basically they're talking to through a wall to each other.
Oh,
and then they basically get engaged to someone they haven't seen before. And then
yeah,
the fucking Netflix, dude, they figured it out. They took things from The Bachelor, they took things from other shit, and they made this show to where they continue after that. Like they could stop there, but they go after that.
Yeah.
And then they fucking do all this toxic shit. Like they put all of the people in the same room and they fucking get shit hammered. And then they're like, oh my God, I fucked up. I should have went with this chick. Like, and then they like start hitting on each other because everyone's shit hammered. Why do they never bring that up on those shows? Everyone's drunk and they never bring it up. Like on The Bachelor too, they're boozing. It's like 3 a.m. when they're doing the roast ceremony and everyone's drunk. You can see it in a lot of people's eyes. They're just like, wiped. It's
the shit that I be clowning on him is like they're like, I love him so much. I was like, bitch, you just met him.
But you don't even know him.
You had one date with him the whole time.
Right. And like Love Is Blind, they end up following him to where so it's like the honeymoon. They're on like at the Bahamas, and then they actually move in together. As like they like give them a fake apartment to like experience like living with each other. And then it just always fucking goes awry. And then they get down to the wedding day, meet their families, everything like that. And there's always a curveball at the end. Like the person you think that's like, all for the marriage ends up pulling the rug on the other guy. And it's like, guy gets like blindsided. I'm like, good for you. Good for you. You stood your ground there, girl. Yeah. Like you start getting invested, but this show figured it out. It's definitely the best out of all of them because it's Netflix, it's uncut. And they just,
That's funny, dude.
They figured out how to make it as toxic and entertaining as possible. With still having the element of falling in love.
So ridiculous. I can't.
We get into all these stupid shows. We're watching You right now.
Dude, my wife was watching that last night. Pretty good.
Dude's got a hell of a beard, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that guy was capable of that beard. I'm like, this guy's got a fucking nice beard.
It's pretty thick.
Like, who's in charge of keeping that beard on set? So, dude, I've gotten the opportunity, luckily, to cut a lot of like Marvel movie producers and like
you were telling me, or you told me Harry Potter the last time we talked.
So like I got to cut David Yates's hair. He's the director of 2 Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, you told me
the
that.
head guy, the director. He's just this older, he's got 4 hairs on his head, British dude. And like his wife booked the appointment, and then he comes and walks in, and there's something about like I cut those guys, I don't get nervous at all. Like I just be myself, and 99% of them are super cool. They're super down to earth, and I'm always like, hey man, you're on set one day, you run a little short of barbers. Don't forget your boy. I definitely give my card to those guys.
for sure.
Like,
they're getting the number.
Yeah, they're getting those digits because if you get on one of those sets, dude, you're a union worker. So you get to negotiate. You make like 10 grand a week and you're only doing like 6 haircuts. The only shitty part is if you have a family, you have to be on these sets like 12, 13 hours a day for fucking, year or however long it takes them to shoot. But that would be a fucking great opportunity to make that much money.
You'd make a killing, yeah.
Yeah. And then like, you know, my shop, they definitely would encourage it because they're wanting all of the, you know, free promotion of that shop, being like, hey, you know, if you ever need anyone, you can always come straight to us. We have barbers available that would do that for you. So, but like the parking lot, like next to the shop, like part of where our clients park, they these production teams, they always park all their trailers and shit in the parking lot. Sometimes it sucks up our client parking too. They can't get in the lot.
Yeah.
But we have a deck they can park in too. We validate it. But yeah, there's always movies being shot. They're making this movie. It's with The Rock. It's a Christmas movie. I think there's Kevin Hart too. It's The Rock. The Rock's the star. And it's not coming out next Christmas. It's coming out the Christmas after that. So I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, The Rock could have fucking got canceled by then.
Yeah.
And then by the time this movie comes out, then they got to shelf it.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm
always asking the hot gossip. I'm like, all right, talk to me. Who's the biggest annoyance? Who's the prima donna actors, actresses? And the one thing they said, Dwayne Johnson, great guy. He's pretty authentic dude, but he works on his own time. He is never on time. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're someone of that ilk. You can kind of swing that.
Yeah.
But they said Kurt Russell, he's kind of got that complex of like, you know who the fuck I am? Like a lot of these actors, they start getting older.
He kind of looks like it though. He has like the face of like, I'm like,
they
that's
also
the Gladiator guy, right? Is that Gladiator? Is that
no? That's Russell Crowe. So Kurt Russell is
No, the guy with the curly. No, wait, who am I fucking thinking of?
You're thinking of Russell Crowe. You got Russell right.
Yeah, I got the Russell right.
Russell Crowe's like A Beautiful Mind, Gladiator.
Yeah.
I actually like him a lot.
I got
An American Gangster with Denzel. Kurt Russell's the guy that he was the coach in the Miracle movie, the Olympic hockey story.
Yeah. Okay. I have the face right. I just have the name
wrong.
Yeah.
So like,
fuck that guy.
That guy's got a crazy head of hair too, and he brings in his own people. So they get whatever the fuck they want to get paid.
Kurt Russell, he was the one that did the it wasn't Gladiator, it was the fucking that space movie, dude, where he's like, I don't know. Fuck. It's like it's gonna drive me nuts, bro.
Lost in Space.
Anyway.
The remake.
It was like he was like some like trained killer in space or something, and then he gets like abandoned on this planet or some shit. It's old. It's old. It was a good movie though.
For some reason, a movie that comes to mind with him is they're in like the middle of the fucking like desert in Arizona driving this red Jeep, and they stop at some like stop, and his wife disappears. And he's like going around like, where's my wife? Where's my wife? And everyone acts like they don't know what the fuck's going on. And everyone's like in on it. And they like kidnap her. And like, he's kind of this like Richie Rich dude wearing like a polo. And it just doesn't belong in the town. And like, it's just like kind of like your worst nightmare happening. Like,
yeah, that would be it.
I think it's called like Broke Down or something. But yeah, he's got that complex where he's like, he's an older actor and he's just like kind of like knowing that it's slipping away. Like a lot of these female, like a lot of these actresses, like they don't age well. They start getting their fucking shots in their face and all of a sudden they're looking like this and like it's like this.
They all
like the Kardashians, like dude. They look like fucking monsters right now. Kylie's the worst one. Dude, she looks absolutely horrific.
Yeah. It's bad.
Like I saw her, I'm like, oh my God, like what happened? Like, yeah, we gotta watch the Kardashians too sometimes.
We're watching that's one I cannot, dude. I'll be livid. I'm like, this is the dumbest fucking thing.
Every time we watch it, we're like, why are we watching this?
Bro, don't even get me started. I'll get mad. Straight up.
Fair enough.
Because like it makes me angry that these people have no life skills at all. Like they're just pretty people, and we follow them with the camera. They have nothing intelligent to say. It's just like,
let's get dinner. Should we get brunch?
Oh my
Did
god!
you see that clip of Kendall chopping up a cucumber? Oh my god, dude. She was like, I don't know what she was doing. She was doing it like the reverse way. Like she was holding a cucumber with this hand and like she had no idea. She hadn't sliced a cucumber in her life.
It's not that hard. It's like,
right. Like these guys look like me fucking trying to put a wall mount up for my TV. just lost.
That can be a little bit more challenging.
Right. Yeah, I give kudos to anyone.
We're literally talking about slicing. You don't slice over your fucking hand. Like, I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So like every time I moved, that is the very first thing that I do.
The wall mount?
Yeah, I'm like, I get that done. Everything else is easy. Everything else is easy. But all right,
like wall mounts, huh?
We're running into the 2-hour territory on this podcast.
Oh, snap.
I think we had a good one, man. We told a lot of your story.
Yeah.
Got into some other shit. I appreciate you immensely for coming on, making the time on Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday, man.
I gotta go try to get some chicken wings at this place, this World Market I go to. They got great buffalo wings that you can,
World
you get
Market,
the wings and you can make your shit. But yeah, it's I'm worried there's gonna be a line out the ass because like I got all the shit to make them, but the wings. I still gotta actually get the wings, so this could backfire. But real quick, Super Bowl. Who you got today? Who you got tonight?
Philly, bro.
I'm on Philly as well.
I got Philly by a lot.
By a lot. All right, so I'm kind of like a sports betting nerd. This is like, I mean, dude, this game, it's almost depressing. If your team's not in it, it's a very depressing game because you're like, oh man, it's over. It's like a wake almost. Like, it's like, it's the death of football, man.
It was a rough year for Denver. I don't know.
I told my wife, I'm like, all right, we can be a happy family again. Like Sundays. Like she's like, I'm sick and tired of like forming our schedule around the Broncos schedule.
I know, bro. You didn't go to that BarberCon because of the fucking because of it fell on Sunday. I was like, damn. But honestly,
Brock lives like an hour and some change away from me now. Bro, we've moved all around.
That BarberCon was trash anyway. It was not right.
So
I was like, what the fuck is this?
BarberCon, which is something I could promote this podcast on, which is a very good idea eventually. So I get to a certain point.
Don't use this episode because I just trashed it. But
no, I mean, the people that organize it, they don't give a shit. Anyway, so like Brock's like, dude, I'm super close. We live close now. Like I can come down the BarberCon, and that where they do that hotel. It's like 4 blocks from where I work.
Yeah,
I think it's I can't remember what hotel.
That area of Atlanta was a ghost town.
Yeah, because that's closer. It's sort of on the fringe between Midtown and downtown. And downtown is like pretty bad. Like most downtowns. Like downtown Phoenix wasn't shit either. Like, right? Like,
bro, there was no one. There was no one there.
Plus, it was Sunday. That has a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, I guess that makes
sense.
If
it was like Friday night or Saturday night, it's a fucking war zone, dude. Like,
really?
I drive home last night. There was fucking piss in the rain last night. I mean, you can't drive a mile without cop lights over here, fucking explosion over there, car flipped over right here. And it's just like,
I do hear Atlanta's bad.
The incompetence of people that drive in Georgia. And I've been like coming to this realization.
Tennessee
I'm like,
too.
there's not a lot of people from Georgia that live here now. So I'm like, I bet a lot of these are like Florida drivers and they're like fucking up
Florida,
Georgia's
Cali.
reputation.
Yeah.
Because there's no blinker. You got to play this guessing game. Like if you get caught up in traffic and you're unable to get your exit, you can almost guarantee someone's going to bail and it's going to open up something for you. Because no one has any kind of foresight driving here. They just fucking smoking a blunt while like getting head. like that's what they have to be doing. Like I can't understand any other reason why they drive this bad. Like they have to be like nodding off at the wheel, like the pulling all nighter. Like I can't understand why some of them do the shit they do. But then again, you can't road rage with anyone because you'll get murdered. Right?
That's funny.
So if someone cuts you off, you gotta be like, "Hey, have a good one, man. Thanks." Oh, that's right. It's all about you. I forgot. Have a good one.
There's this fucking clip on Family Guy where it's like this Asian woman driving.
Yeah.
And she's just like, okay, I go left now. And she just cuts across 7 lanes and like everyone just wrecks behind him.
That's an everyday. That's an everyday thing here. Every day.
I believe it.
There's this page. I got to send it to you on Instagram. It's called ATL Scoop. And they put all the fuck shit on there. ATL Scoop. All the Atlanta stuff. Crackheads dancing in the street. Shootouts. You name it. It's on there. So you got Philly. All right. I'm thinking, I'm a sports betting nerd.
I'm gonna tell you why, because I feel like it's important. Because people don't realize this, but if Kansas City wins, you have the aftermath of his fucking wife and his brother doing dumb shit that you have to see on ESPN for like the next 3 weeks. And I can't handle it.
They've been pretty quiet this year for the most part. Like Patrick's got to do a good job of just being like, guys, come on. Cut it out. Cut the shit here.
I think it'll end
ridiculous.
If they win, they're gonna be out there.
Fucking spraying champagne on everyone in the crowd.
What the fuck? Yeah. That video of her just like screaming nonstop. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I joke with people at work. I'm like, the only D that I would give Patrick Mahomes' wife if I was Patrick Mahomes is a divorce. I would get rid of her. That's the only D she's getting. It's awful.
Pat's too far in now. He's too.
Yeah, he's got 2 kids. He's
too deep.
He's in it. He's invested.
Yep. And his brother. I mean, you can't change family. He's fucking prancing around on Sean Taylor's like fucking memorial, doing a horrific TikTok dance. It'd be different if he could actually dance. He's fucking terrible. Like he's not even good.
I'm just saying I don't want Kansas City for that reason alone.
Right.
That's it. It's just super petty, but
So the game is rated to be, the score is rated to be 26.2 to 25 Eagles. That is what the projection is. So
that's what the bookie.
Yeah, that's what Vegas is saying. That's what the betting nerds are saying.
I'm gonna go 32-17.
32-17. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Philly's got a good defense, bro.
No doubt. One thing about the Eagles. So here's how my prediction on how this game's gonna go. I think Kansas City is in trouble if the Eagles get an early score and they're able to just control the ball. They're kind of built to beat the Chiefs. They run the ball. They can get at, they know Mahomes is going to be one-dimensional if they fall behind. They got a stout D-line. They can get after Mahomes. But if they make an early mistake, Philly does, and, it's kind of a close game, they might be in trouble because then Mahomes comes into play and, starts high-stepping around the field. He's already got like a little gallop when he runs. I'm like, he's already been running like this anyway before the ankle
I
injury.
don't understand how he came across. Like, no one in his life told him that he runs like that. Like, you know,
right? Like, he's just. It's like, dude,
the
will
way he
you
walks
fucking
off, he's like
stride normal?
walking off the fucking field. Why you do that?
And
There's
somehow
too
he
much hip
escapes everyone doing it. Like, he's still like fast somehow. I'm like, I don't know how this fucking guy does this. He's fucking
It
prancing
makes
around
no
the
sense.
field.
Makes no sense.
So yeah. But my score prediction, let's go with I'm gonna go the ball control route with Philly winning. So I'm gonna go 31-24. It's gonna be
That's pretty
31-24.
pretty solid.
I'm looking to bet the national anthem, but I have like an illegal bookie because sports betting that I've had for years. But it's just like, Cash App every week, you're up or down, whatever. It's great. It's been a beautiful relationship. But because you can't bet in Georgia. So my it's a website still. It's pretty simple. They've actually made improvements, but I love betting on the national anthem, the over under on how long it takes to be sung. And it's not up yet. And I'm like, these they better put this up. This is like one of my favorite bets to make, the over under. And they say, who's the country? What is the guy's name that's singing it? Oh my God. Chris Stapleton?
Beard, long hair?
I think it's Chris Stapleton. Well, what's another guy just like him?
Oh God, I don't know. Like Stapleton's like one of a kind, bro.
Chris Stapleton. Yeah, like he's good, but I don't know if it's him or someone else of that ilk. I think it might be him. That's his name, right? Chris. I didn't fuck that up.
Yeah, no, that's right. National.
So like they he's got pipes.
Yeah, it's him this year.
Okay, yeah. So he's got pipes. Everyone's thinking he's gonna drag this thing out, right? The slower kind of country artist, like mix match of that. And so every square out there is gonna bet, oh, it's going over, it's gonna go. It's like, yeah, Vegas knows that too. Vegas has that assumption too. So what they're gonna do, they're gonna push this number. It's normally like 2 minutes, 10 seconds. They're gonna push this number too high to like 220. And all these idiots are gonna be like, oh, it's going over, it's going over. It's like, yeah, they know that. That's why they put the number too high, and it's gonna go under. So that is even though this will probably be published and put out after the Super Bowl, but that's my prediction with the national anthem. Bet the under, because Vegas is going to put this number too high because everyone's assuming that. So you have that, right? Your bet MGM. What's the number? You got it right now. We can do a little side podcast here, a little bet MGM.
What's my bet on it?
I mean, you got it pulled up, the line. You probably can find that on your bet MGM.
Let me see.
Kind of see it's legal to bet, right?
Yeah, it's legal.
Sports betting, like, I don't understand why these states don't cash in on weed and sports betting. It's free money they're giving away for states, and they don't. I don't understand why they won't take it. Just take the free money. This fucking Bible Belt bullshit.
Dude, I live
before 12:30 on Sunday.
I don't see
the only
it.
time I ever buy alcohol on Sunday, like morning at the grocery store or something.
I'm not seeing it on here.
Is there any like pre-game props or like off the wall props? They normally
props for a big game. Big game early outcomes. No, I don't see any. Let's try props. Let's try just. Nope, that wasn't it. I don't see it.
I remember last year there was this person with a stopwatch outside the stadium at SoFi. And they're like, sound on. If you know, you know. They were fucking recording the stopwatch of the rehearsal of the national anthem. And I basically based my bet off of that. And I think it cashed. I was hosting a party and they were singing the national anthem and all the guests start showing up. And I'm like, all right, come in. I'm timing this. Come on. First bet. It's down the pipe.
That's fucking funny, dude. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't show it on here. I have to do some extensive searching on there or something. But
I get into it there. Well, my man,
I imagine it'd be under because
I think
he's got a
that's
graspy
the way
voice,
to go
bro.
because Vegas is gonna. They know everything. They know everything.
Yeah.
The house always wins. Remember that. House always wins. So, my man, it was a good episode. Good.
It was good. Good length.
Good. Very.
We talked a lot.
I'm gonna have to up my subscription to StreamYard here.
Yeah, man.
Time I'm allotted to use a month before it gets reset.
You broke the ice though, man. It's only up for here now. So
there you go, man. It's the domino effect.
Man.
All the things will fall down. So I appreciate you, my man. Thanks for making the time to come on a Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday.
Hell yeah, no
and
problem,
then away
bro.
from your family for a couple minutes. Appreciate you, man.
Good
luck. I'll have you back on. We'll do this again easily. We're getting to some.
Hell yeah, bro.
We got your journey and story down. We'll be back on.
Hell yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Good luck to you, bro.
Good luck, man. Good seeing you. Have a good day.
You too, man.